Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we are going to be following our heroes on their journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. I said it right that time. Finally. Somebody keep a tally of how many times I screw that up. We are just past halfway through our first book, which is called The Coming Storm. That book is 1 out of 14, which means we have more than 100 more quests to do before we got to start worrying about making our own stuff. And that is going to be its own exciting adventure. Tonight, we are going to be following a group of heroes back over to the Black Mountains in the east, where they are going to seek out and hopefully destroy a dangerous Fire Mage. Don't forget, if you're hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so I know you're there. I see Justin Pollitt is already here first, not surprised. Absolutely. If you have any questions or suggestions, questions about lore, questions about game mechanics, questions about the meaning of life and what in the world we're all doing here, we will discuss and get back to you with the be-all, end-all definitive answer, and you will be satisfied. Yes, you will. Don't forget that you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. That is quests and painting streams all available over there for you to watch. We would appreciate all of the content creatory things like likes and subscribes and follows here on Twitch. All that stuff really does help. We appreciate every single one of you that has done that already, and we appreciate every one of you that might go do that right now. That would be super awesome. But sincerely, we do super appreciate that. Yes, okay, so we're getting through this stuff fast. Boy, are we getting through this stuff fast, and that is because we are doing this almost every single night of the week. You can catch us right here at midnight, Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, Tuesday nights for quests, and also Sunday nights and Wednesday nights for painting. That only leaves you Thursday nights to do whatever it is you do when you're by yourself at midnight, and the rest of the time, we're playing Hero Quest. That's right. Oh, Gohan's here too. Awesome. I was hanging out in Gohan's stream for a little bit earlier too. That was an interesting game you were playing, buddy. I was having a whole lot of fun watching all the shenanigans. Oh, Justin says, a great philosopher of an unknown name asked the greatest question that no one has answered. Maybe you can. Why? Why? That's a good question. Why? Why? To play Hero Quest. That's why. That's why we're here, right? I think that's the meaning of life too. That's what it is. We got a little bit of quest setup to do before we can start playing. Let's get that done. Okay. As always, we are going to be starting with picking the 4 heroes that are going to go on this quest. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this by now, but just in case you're not... Ooh, did that screw anything up? Okay, I did something weird to my phone by accident. Okay. We currently have 10 heroes in our ranks, but only 4 can go on a quest. So we need to randomly pick which of those 10 are going to go. What do we got? Justin says, it's become a bit of an obsession. I'm probably going to play while I watch. Hey, that's the best way to go. Play Hero Quest while you watch Hero Quest. That would make Bardic Broadcasts proud. That is for sure. If any of you are in for a good laugh now that you've watched some Hero Quest, at some point you should search on YouTube why Hero Quest is so great. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the video. It's old. That video predates the Avalon Hill remakes of this stuff, but it is one of the most funny videos on YouTube, and that guy is a genius. Okay, we have these Beatles cards here that line up with a character randomizer sheet on the wall behind me. We're going to draw some cards to see which 4 heroes are going on the quest tonight. Our first one is the Jack of Diamonds. That is Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer. Newly painted. Here she is. She was painted on a painting stream by Savannah just a few nights ago. I love all those details in her backpack. If the camera would focus, that would be fantastic. There we go. She is going to be our first hero tonight. Next. Excuse me. We have Valirna, the elf. Primed and dry brushed, but not painted. Here she is. I'll set her down right there. Next, we have the Ace of Clubs, which I do believe is Sir Ragnar. Yes, indeed, it is. Sir Ragnar is one that Savannah painted right before we started doing live streams. So here he is. He's looking neat, of course. And finally, oh, Justin says, oh boy, let's see if she contributes today. Yes, let's hope. Let's hope. Finally, the Queen of Diamonds, which is Robert Tylan, the Explorer. There we go. Now we had a deck reshuffle before tonight's quest, because I know he was on the quest Tuesday night. We reshuffled the deck. And also, I think this will only be his third ever quest, so it's not too bad that he's going on one again. That is our 4 heroes for tonight. Ooh, I almost forgot. You know what? Now that Justin has been playing the original Hero Quest with that Hero Quest Revived project, which is a computer version, I'm getting this all screwed up, a computer game version of the Milton Bradley version of this game. So you've been looking at all like the original stuff. I use mostly the Avalon Hill stuff, but I thought it'd be funny just because you've been playing this. Because I grew up playing the Milton Bradley version long before we had any idea that this was going to get remade by Hasbro. And so I actually have, I have multiple copies of these guys, but I have here the original set of 4 heroes that look more like the ones you've been playing with in your game. There's a good old Milton Bradley set of elf, barbarian, dwarf, and wizard. And I've got all the, obviously we used some of the Milton Bradley monsters. Got all that furniture and stuff somewhere too. Go ahead and get those guys put back. I got a whole case full of stuff here that at some point I should figure out how to use. I've got the heroes from the board game Dark World, which is something that gets put with Hero Quest quite a lot. Those guys are in here. Bohemius is here. Hey, how's it going, man? How's it going? Showing off a little bit of random stuff before we get started. I've also got these metal minis that I actually have the entire Fellowship of the Ring. I'm not even sure where those guys came from. It's just got a couple of them here, but I've got all 9 of them. We've got a Guinevere from the Legend of Drizzt as well, which is neat. I think that it even says her name on the bottom there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the camera doesn't show it very well. Awesome. A smattering of other random stuff, of course, but I thought it'd be interesting to show those OG minis. Okay, let's get some character sheets so that we can take a look at what we might need to get in the armory. We can make sure they get all their items and spells, and then we can get started on this quest. Okie dokie, so Gramina, the hopefully not useless Dwarven Explorer. We've got Robert Tylan the Berserker, Sir Ragnar. Oh, I almost missed a comment. Justin says, wait, isn't Ragnar the guy that got himself kidnapped? Yes, he sure is. We rescued him in Quest 2. Well, Episode 3 for us, but Quest 2 of the book. And then in my homebrew rules, he ends up joining the heroes after that. Not something that happened in the original Hero Quest. But I always thought it was neat. Okay, let's see. What do these guys have, and what do they need? So Gramina's got a broadsword and a crossbow and a helmet. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for us to find her some armor. We've got a pretty good amount of gold. We've got 1,020 gold, which is the most we've had so far. Valerna's got a short sword, a short bow, and a helmet. So it may not be a bad idea for us to think about getting her a broadsword and chainmail. By the way, just in case somebody's watching who doesn't know, the short bow is just a different name for the crossbow. I decided to put both of those things in there just because it bothered me, the idea of the heroes not using a traditional bow and arrow. It's completely aesthetic for our imaginations. There is no difference functionally between the crossbow and the short bow. Ragnar has a broadsword and a helmet and a shield. So he's doing pretty good on defense, but if we've got some gold, getting him a crossbow or a short bow is not a bad idea. Robert Tylan's got a broadsword and a helmet. Justin said I had to 300 that quest. When I found them, all the orcs activated, so I just let them funnel into a doorway and had the barbarian dwarf kill them single file style. Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. That is, I think we might have discussed this on a past stream. That's one of the things that some people had an issue with HeroQuest is that the game doesn't have a great way to combat cheesing the game like that just all the time. Make the monsters come to you one at a time and just let all four heroes, especially if they all have long range. Um, that's something that's definitely kind of a difficult thing. I try not to do that unless I think a hero is going to die, just because it's boring to watch, you know? Okay, so our Berserker can't have long range, and then we could get him maybe some chainmail, but honestly, it benefits him to be low on health. So I'm not super worried about powering him up more. I'd like to get him a battle axe, but that is expensive. So let's see, what are our options? Gramina getting some more armor, Valerna getting a broadsword and armor, Ragnar getting long range. I'd like to prioritize Ragnar having some sort of bow. I want to make a long range barb. Yes! My wizard's always about to die even at full health. Yeah, you're not kidding. That is why every hero starts out with a base of 10 body points for me. And that's one of the big reasons. I want them to be able to split into smaller groups or even theoretically go off alone, and that doesn't mean that they're immediately going to die. You know? If they would wear more than a robe, yeah, that's exactly right, Gohan. Okay, some votes in the chat, please. If we get Ragnar a bow, should it be a short bow or a crossbow? Again, completely aesthetic, doesn't make any difference functionally to the game, but if we're imagining a knight shooting a bow, is it mechanical, pulling a trigger, or is he actually putting the bow against the string, drawing it back and firing? And in the meantime, I think the other thing we want to do is get Valerna a broadsword. Let me get my armory stuff so I can make sure I got the prices right. Crossbow. Okay. Limited movement, I'm assumed, to keep knocking arrows. Yeah. Let me get us out of here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a calculator so that I'm not having to do math live on camera. Okay, so if we get, that's 2 votes for crossbow. So I'd say that's good enough. We probably don't have too many people, unless Bohemius has got something to add in on that as well. 350 for the crossbow. So go ahead and subtract 350. We're also going to subtract 250 to get Valerna a broadsword. Now, if she gets a broadsword, she can sell her short sword. We won't get a whole bunch of money back for that. I'm going to go ahead and mark that long range on Ragnar's sheet. Oh, do you mind if I post the link to the HeroQuest Revisited page in case anyone... No, absolutely, yeah. So, in case anybody doesn't know, Justin found a free computer version of HeroQuest, essentially. It's the original, it's the Milton Bradley, and the game looks fantastic. I think it's only the first quest book that's available in there, and there's the link for it right there. And that is super neat. The visuals in that is super neat because it looks like a picture of a real board on a real table. Bohemia says a knight should not use ranged weapons, in my opinion, but since the game allows it, crossbow. Good answer. Yeah, I would think that a knight would want to get in, just wade in there with a sword. Let's keep that in mind, and keep me in line with that, all of you guys. Ragnar will have a crossbow if he needs it, but he ought to be trying to get to the front lines to attack long range. Absolutely. Okay, so we'll get that. He's got the crossbow. Valerna, we're going to give her that broadsword. Let's see, how much do we get for that short sword selling it back? Only 75 coins. Which still leaves us at 495. That is frustratingly 5 coins short of getting chainmail for anybody. But we don't want everybody too powered up for these first quests. Go ahead and mark her down a broadsword, which is going to push her close range dice up to 3. Is there anything? Now, Gramina can disarm traps, so we don't really need to worry about a toolkit. Yeah, I don't think we really need anything else. Yeah, let's leave it at that. We'll save our 495 coins so that we theoretically end up with some more coins by the end of the quest. And then we can get some better stuff later. Rest assured that we are definitely going to be running out of gold when we start getting access to Tier 2 armory stuff. Oh yeah, Go Ahead says just barter a bit. Shopkeep is a nice guy, I heard. Roided out sneaky man. Yes, that's right. We're gonna send that shopkeep an IOU. All right, items. What do we need? Valerna's got a couple of potions of healing. There we go. Those are for her. Ragnar's got a heroic brew. Looks like that's all we got for items right at the moment. Not a big deal. We're still early. We're running light. Now, who needs stuff? We need some skill cards and some spell cards, and then we're ready to get started. So Gramina's got the 3 Explorer skills. Now, Explorer skills work a little differently than most of the other characters' skills do, being that they are just static skills. This is not something that she has to choose to use in a certain situation. All 3 of these are just things that apply to her permanently. She gets 25 extra coins if she searches for treasure and finds coins. That's her coin hunter skill. Her danger sense means that when she's drawing from the treasure pile, if she gets a trap, she can discard that card and draw again, but she can only do that once per treasure search. And then her trapsmith skill allows her to not necessarily have to search for traps, or at least not as much. As the dungeon master, if she is standing directly adjacent to a trap at any point, I have to tell her once per turn. So that's one character who can get away with not searching for traps maybe quite so obsessively. We also have our Berserker here, so he's going to get the 3 Berserker skills: Enrage, Retaliation, and Frenzy. We'll cover those if we get to them, because those are skills that he has to use. So if he uses one, we'll explain what it does. Suffice it to say that he gets some little extra damage boosts if he's low on health. Go Ahead and says, I'll give you Gold Tuesday for a chainmail today. I promise, Shopkeep, I get paid on Friday. I'll be able to pay you back then. Justin says, I'm doing Prince Magnus's gold. Nice. Yes. We did that one. That would have been, I guess that's quest 4, isn't it, in the book? So that would have been our episode 5. But I changed the name to the Emperor's Gold because I just eliminated Prince Magnus as a character. Oh, everybody's getting stuff today. We got knight skills, too. So Sir Ragnar is going to get the 3 knight skills: Imperial Training, Rallying Call, and Concentrated Attack. Again, those are skills he has to use depending on a situation he's in, so we'll just cover those if we need them. And finally, Valerna gets 3 spells. So switch back to the other camera and get our spells out. Same thing as always here. Regular old Hero Quest comes with 12 different spells. I've got 6 copies of each of those 12 spells in a big old pile, which we are going to separate into 4 smaller piles, and we are going to mostly randomize what spells Valerna gets. Rather than her getting just any set of 3, we're just going to totally randomize which one she gets. Now, she has built her magic memorization skill a little bit, which means one of her 3 spells she gets to pick by name, rather than it being random. But the other 2 are still going to be random. I'm thinking somebody's got 2 potions of healing. It's her. So she probably doesn't need a healing spell, but we have been getting really unlucky with dice rolls in the last few quests, and people have been getting really low on health, and healing stuff has been really helpful. So maybe it would be better. What do we got? The barbarians just bodies everyone. The other characters are just along for the ride. Yeah, I've definitely made attempts in my homebrew rules to make the other characters a little more useful. That's difficult to maintain balance for sure, and I can't guarantee that the balance that I've quote unquote achieved is going to be agreeable to everyone. But yeah, I definitely wanted to avoid any character having to stay away from the action. So any character could theoretically make the difference in a battle. Any character could theoretically go off on their own and not die. But yeah. Okay, so really the question is, should Valerna pick a healing spell or pick something more like an attack spell? We know we're fighting a boss. This quest has the Fire Mage, so we know we're fighting a boss. And also, worth mentioning, Fire Mage means you can't use fire spell on him. We got a first time chat. Merlin Zanzar, cool. Hey, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy watching. Healing. We got a vote for healing. Anybody else got a say on that? I think I might agree. She's got a couple of healing potions, but that's the only healing that the party has. So I think yeah. We got 2 votes for healing. I think that's a smart idea, you guys. Okay, so she gets 3 spells. She gets to pick one of them. We'll make that a healing spell, and then the other ones are going to get randomized. Here's a Water of Healing. There's 2 healing spells in here, Water of Healing and Heal Body. It doesn't really matter. They both do the same thing. So here's one, and we're going to randomize the other one. So we've got 4 piles here. We're going to use a deck of regular cards over here. So the suit's going to tell us which pile, and the number is going to tell us which card. So pile number 1, card number 8. Gohan says always need a healing spell. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 means her second spell is going to be Tempest, which allows her to trap a monster for 1 turn. And then our last spell is going to be pile number 3, card number 2. 1 and 2. Fire of Wrath. Okay, so that's the weakest attacking spell, and this won't be any help against the boss we have tonight anyway, so she can get rid of a lower level monster there. I guess the monsters don't really have levels, so it's lower level isn't really saying much, but you guys know what I mean. An easy monster. Okay, with that, I think we are actually set up and ready to go. Let's get our music rolling. Get our background music going. Oops, I've opened the wrong thing. I am the bane of technology. Okay. All right, here we go. Some quest text for you all. This is Quest 8, the Fire Mage. I think I normally do full face cam for this, but, you know, whatever. Penance! Yes, that's right. Who is it? Who is Merlin? How do you know that song is Penance? We've got an Afterwinter fan, or maybe an Afterwinter member, in the chat. I think we normally do full face cam. for the quest reading, I almost got out of there. Quest 8, the Fire Mage. The orcs of the Black Mountains have been using fire magic in their recent raids. Balur, the Fire Mage, is thought to be responsible for helping them. No fire magic can harm Balur, and the Emperor's wizards are unable to counter his spells. You have therefore been chosen to enter his lair deep beneath Black Fire Crag. The Emperor will reward each hero with 100 gold coins for Balur's destruction. Fancy. So we've got some stuff to do. Does the bow have a specific range? I thought I could shoot an enemy through other party members. Oh, so that's a good question. I'm not sure how the real rules handle that. I allow heroes to shoot through other party members. But yeah, okay, I know who Merlin is. So in regular Hero Quest, I think they won't let you shoot across furniture, even if it's something you could see across in real life. That's something that I did away with. Like, you could shoot over a table in real life. I let them do that. I don't know if they let you shoot through other heroes. Sounds like they don't. In real Hero Quest rules, they let you shoot as far as you can. As far as I know, you could be standing on one corner of the board and shoot a monster on the other corner of the board. I created the rule of 6 squares. So just so Merlin knows there, the 6 square range is something that I created. Now, for reference, it's not literally 6 squares the way I do it. The hero is standing in the center of a 13 by 13 box, and anything that is standing in that 13 by 13 box is within range as long as they could actually see it. So they can't shoot through walls, they can't shoot through like a bookshelf if it were standing in the middle of a room. If you couldn't see over it in real life, they can't see over it here. But yes, so that's a good question for the real thing. Apparently, by the sound of it, they won't let you shoot through other party members. You've revealed yourself accidentally, Merlin. I had my suspicions, but now I know. I think we may have just heard your guitar playing a moment ago. All right, we need to start on some stairs. We are going to be starting over here. The hilariously small stairs tile on the 3D board. And we've got a door in this room right here. I want to make sure that nothing is blocked off on camera. Now on the last painting stream, Savannah painted a little square of gold on the top of each of the doors. So hopefully that'll help tell doors apart from walls. Since we're top down, you can't always see this part of the door. So hopefully that'll make that a little bit easier. That is all that is in the room right at the moment, so let's get our heroes up in there. We have Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer, Valirna, the Elf, Sir Ragnar, the Knight, and Robert Tylan, the Berserker. We're going to be playing with some weird hero classes tonight, Merlin. There's some hero classes that you will have not interacted with yet. Both the Dwarven Explorer and the Berserker are heroes that I thought I wasn't going to use until way later and changed my mind. So they're in here. They ought to provide you some interesting stuff you haven't seen. Savannah says that looks better, I think. Yeah, no, I agree. Especially on camera. And it's not, I was worried that it would look dumb, you know, like in real life. Why would there be gold on the top of the door? But I'm not bothered by it at all. It still just looks like it's part of the door. So I'm glad there's that too. I'm gonna take my jacket off real quick because it's warm. The space heater down here does not mess around. There we go. All right, you guys know the drill. We can do a lot of searching in rooms, so we need to determine what these heroes are gonna do. We're gonna be using a randomizer deck of cards that's gonna help me determine what in the world these heroes are gonna do, because you're not supposed to be playing Dungeon Master and heroes. I know what the map looks like, I know where the stuff is, I know where the Fire Mage is, I know what his weaknesses are. A real player wouldn't, so we need to randomize these heroes' movements so that my knowledge of the map does not affect anything. Justin says, oh, also Hero Quest is on Tabletop Simulator and someone added a whole bunch of homebrew character traits. Nice. Or to it. Yeah. I think I knew about that. I'm not 100% sure what Tabletop Simulator is, but I mean, the name kind of self-explains, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I knew about that. That's super neat though. Okay, Grimina, she is first. Are we going to search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the room? Excuse me, she is gonna search for traps in that room, and there are none. No traps, Grimina. Second action, secret doors, treasure, or leave. She's gonna leave. Why would a dwarf not be interested in treasure? Get out of here with that stuff. Remember that the heroes can exit the stairs on any square that is adjacent to the stairs, so she doesn't necessarily have to step off right here. We're gonna let her step off a little closer to the door. 1, 2, 3. And she can open that door. We can see what's out there. I'm definitely gonna have to move the camera. We have a wall right here. And right at the moment, that's actually all that she can see up in this hallway. Here we go. Yeah. Now she could continue her movement, but that would not be a very smart thing to do, so let's ask ourselves this. Is she gonna stop right here since this hallway hasn't been searched for traps, or is she gonna continue her movement? She is continuing her movement. Now I've mentioned that's dumb, but don't forget that as an explorer, she has that ability that means if she is at any point during her turn next to a trap, I have to tell her. So she would know before she steps on one. Let's see, she did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No traps anywhere there. Next, we have Valirna, the elf. She is just barely on camera, but we'll go ahead and scoot this back down so we can see her. She is standing right here. She could search for secret doors, search for traps, or leave the room. She is also going to leave the room. These heroes are totally focused on the quest. No treasure for us. Give us the Fire Mage. That's what we want. 1, 2, 3. Same question for her. Is she going to stop and search for traps before she walks out there? Yes, she is. Okay. from this square to the corner that is just off camera. No traps. Okay, next, Sir Ragnar. I am having a heck of a time getting this camera where I want it. There we go. Sir Ragnar, secret doors, treasure, or leave. He's gonna do secret doors. There are no secret doors in this room. Second action, Ragnar, treasure or leave. He's leaving. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is he off camera? No, he's okay. Now, we don't let heroes totally leave a room without searching for treasure. A player might do that, but we're not trying to make the quests last forever and ever and ever and ever. I don't want anybody to have to backtrack to search for a room for something. So we would be forcing Robert Tylan to search for treasure, but technically Valerna's still in here too, so we'll still give him the option. Treasure or leave. He is gonna do treasure. Okay. Let's see what Robert finds. Oh, that's good. He starts the quest finding a wandering monster. It's because Justin Pollitt's here. He was telling me earlier that he's gotten unlucky with wandering monster searches, and now he's giving them to us too. Justin says, okay, so I have no idea why I couldn't shoot through somebody a minute ago. It just let me. Only difference is now I'm in a room, but before I was in a hall. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that's a quirk of the code in that particular version of the game, or if that is some sort of rule that I've just totally forgotten about. Interesting. Okay, the wandering monster in this quest is a wasteland femur. This is the just kind of garden variety femur, raised in either a desert or some sort of, bad land or something like that. I've tossed him on the ground, so he is a floor femur as well. This guy's not painted. He's just the good old classic Hero Quest femur that is going to pop out right here on the staircase and attack immediately. The femur swings its axe at the berserker. Wow. Doesn't hit him. Just in case anybody is unfamiliar, if you direct your attention to the bottom left of the screen, you will find a dice cam where you can keep track of the dice rolls and keep me on track in case I do something wrong. If you look down there, you will see that not only did the femur miss, but he rolled something that statistically should not happen. 3 black shields. Each dice only has a 1/6 chance of rolling a black shield. To roll 3 of them in one go is pretty wild. Hopefully that's not a bad omen for monsters defending stuff in this quest. Oh, Dad's here too. Dan says I dislike wandering monsters. Yeah, that is for sure. Justin says take all my wandering monsters. I got 5 in a row. And he just got another one. 5 in a row. Oh, that feels awful. Wandering monsters are definitely not fun. Okay, now that was Robert Tylan's first action, so he can actually use his second action to attack back. That is also something I changed from the original Hero Quest. I believe your 2 actions, one of them has to be movement, and then all of the other stuff is just in its own category. So theoretically, I think in the normal Hero Quest, you can't search for treasure and then attack on the same turn, I think. But we changed that. So let's let him attack. What has he got? He's got a, I'm looking at the wrong paper, broadsword. Robert Tylan swings his broadsword at the femur, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Nice, that's a good way to get rid of it pretty quick. Let's see if it blocks. It blocks 1, but it still takes 2. That means it is dead. On the board and off the board. You don't mess with a berserker. That's the moral of that story. So Wizard is no longer allowed to search for treasure. He's grounded. Yeah, that's right. Yet given the nature of the deck giving you traps and wandering monsters, the Wizard is kind of not a very good hero to use for that in the original rules. Okay, now we are at the monster's turn. Now there is no monsters on the board, but as Zargon, I am allowed to reveal stuff. And I normally don't. However, there is a zombie standing very close to within the hero's current line of sight. And I do feel like the noise of them walking down the hallway will have alerted that guy. So let's reveal him. He is standing right here. As you can see, the heroes are very close to him. So let's get that zombie moving down towards Ragnar. 1, 2, 3. The zombie swings its whatever in the world it is that it's holding right there. I've definitely said the name of that weapon before, but I can't think of it right now. He swings the thing in his hand at Ragnar, hitting him with a 1. Ragnar's got pretty decent defense. And he does manage to block it, but just barely. What in the world is that thing? Oh, Dan says, where do I buy Midnight Quest merch? I want a t-shirt. We need to work on that. We got to figure that out. I saw you left that in a comment on one of the YouTube videos too. Marlon says, I agree. Yes, we need to figure that out. Somewhere, somehow, there is some place that will make Midnight Quest t-shirts, and we need to get that figured out because that would be super neat. Help me out, gang. What is that weapon? I've said it before, and for some reason my brain is just not letting me have it. Cleaver! Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know if that's the name that I said before, but that feels right. Could use Redbubble to make shirts. Thanks for that idea there, Justin. Yeah, we got to figure that out. I know there's certain companies that reach out to like YouTubers when they start gaining a big audience. Obviously, we're not there, but it would be neat to have some even yet. Okay, so back to the front of the hero team here. We are at Gramina, and she is standing right here. This hallway's been searched for traps, but nothing else. Does she have long range? Yeah, she has a crossbow, so she can also attack that zombie. So maybe let's do both of those things. We're going to start her turn by having her put an arrow in her crossbow and fire at the zombie. Ragnar luckily was able to jump up and out of the way. She hit the zombie with a 1. Let's see if it defends. It does. That zombie is not messing around. No nonsense for that today. That means that Gramina's only other option for this turn is to search that hallway for secret doors. And there are none. Again, in the same area from that square to the corner. No secret doors. Who we got next? I have forgotten my character cards to help me out with turn order. This is not the first episode I've done that. Let's see. Robert Tylan. Where is everybody else? How have they ended up on the bottom? There's Valerna. There's Gramina. And Ragnar's literally the last card. There we go. Okay, now that I'm a little bit more sorted out there, it is Valerna's turn, and she is back here, standing in the doorway. There's no more to search for in that hallway, so we might as well move her. We don't need to roll, because you're guaranteed at least 2 squares. 1, 2. And she now has, she's got a bow, right? Yes, she does. So she can also fire at that zombie. She hits the zombie with a 2. Pretty good hit. The zombie blocks one of them with this not very black shield, but still gets hit with 1. Oops, I killed Ragnar. Which means the zombie is dead. Justin says it's one of those services that prints the merch as it's ordered, so there's no inventory management. They take a big cut of the sale, but it's fast and easy to set up. That's good to know. Definitely. That's kind of how the Anchor merchandising works that Afterwinter goes through for that stuff. It's like it's made to order so that they're not having to keep a bunch of stuff around all the time. I think they give us 100% of the profits too, if I'm remembering right, but we don't sell a whole bunch. We don't sell a whole bunch of merch. They like us though, which is important because they've also said that they're gonna, if anybody goes 9 months without a sale, they're gonna remove that band from their website, which makes a lot of sense. And we've gone 9 months without sales, and we're still on their website because they like us. So that's good. Okay, Ragnar is next, which is good because he's holding up the party there right at the front. Let's get him moving. Okay. 1, 2. He can now look down this hallway, the big long hallway. So let's also look down the big hallway. I can't quite get the whole thing on camera, but we can see a whole bunch of it here. Here is what he can see right at the moment. He can see a couple of walls right here. And way down at the other end, we'll switch cameras for this. Yeah, so this right here is that same hallway. I know we're at a different angle, so that's kind of weird. This is the other end of that hallway we're looking at. there is a door right here. There is a wall, is technically not in this hallway, but we'll go ahead and stick this wall right there. And right there at the corner, there is a fairly new type of monster that I don't remember if we've seen before. Actually, yes, we've seen it at least once before. There is a skeleton archer down there. This old fella right here, which is a fairly new addition to Hero Quest. This is something that Merlin will have not seen before, I'm quite sure. Stick him in the corner, and he can shoot. Now, he also only has a range of 6 squares, or he's in the center of a 13 by 13, so he's not going to be able to fire at anybody that's clear down at the other end, but still a dangerous problem that's going to be able to hit them theoretically sooner than they'll be able to hit back. Back over here, we need to ask, is Ragnar going to just bound out into this hallway, or is he going to search it for traps? Now, he can step 1 more square, 3, because he knows that one's not trapped, but any of the rest of them might be. Is he going to stop? Yes, he is. So he's going to search this hallway for traps, and remember that all the heroes in this land have a special ability called Warrior Sense, which allows them to focus their energy and detect things like traps and secret doors without having to physically check every single area. This is going to go from corner to corner in this case. So from Ragnar, where Ragnar is standing, all the way over to where that skeleton is standing, there are no traps in that area. Okay. Moving on to Robert Tylan, who is still back here on the stairs. He can finally actually make a movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he can't go 5, 6 because Grameen is standing in the way. Nothing else to search in that hallway. So we are at the monster's turn, which would include this skeleton. But honestly, I think he is probably safe right where he's at. I don't think we need to bother moving him. We could, but I think he's strategically placed pretty well. So let's leave him where he is. Gramina. She is right here, almost out of camera. Let's get her moving. 9. She's got a pretty good movement there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is she off camera? Almost. We're starting to get the heroes a little bit more up there, so let's move the camera just a little bit. Okay. She can search for secret doors in this hallway since she's got an action left. Same thing, from corner to corner, from where Ragnar is to where that skeleton is, there are no secret doors. This is just a big, long slog of a walk. Valirna, she is right here. Pretty much everything's been searched for in the immediate area, so they really need to get rolls a lot higher than what she just got to get down to that door. 1, 2, 3, 4. And unfortunately, she can't go 5 because Ragnar's big butt's in the way. Okay, speaking of Ragnar, let's get his big butt out of the way. Ugh, guys, 3, really? 1, 2, 3, okay. We might need a dice reset, by which I mean I have a lot of different dice and these dice are letting me down. We might need to get some different dice and see if they get us some better rolls. Robert Tylan back here at the back. We'll give these red movement dice one more chance here. Can we get something decent for this guy? Nope, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he can't move his 5th. Let's dice reset. All right, check this out, guys. I have here a big old container of dice. All sorts of dice from the different games. Oh yeah, there's a big old Pokemon tin in here too. You can tell that I've been playing Hero Quest since I was a kid because this used to fit every dice I had. And in this container is all of my OG Hero Quest dice with some like, I got a D20 in there and some other weird dice I collected over time. And then this big container is like all of the newer dice. Let's switch. I want some different movement dice. Yes, I'm punishing my dice for not rolling well. Give me some different movement dice. And let's see, I think we've got 6. Oh, right, I actually usually use 7 attack dice, but I still have forgotten to get that one from behind the desk over here. Now I'm dropping them all over the floor. So let's get 6 different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And these dice will go into dice exile for the time being. Put them in the corner. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. I'll let you guys in on a behind-the-scenes secret here too. Not that this is important, it's just kind of funny. Just to make sure that I'm rotating the dice that I'm physically rolling, I will also, quote-unquote, punish the dice for rolling black shields. So any dice that rolls a black shield, I pick it out of there and put it in a separate pile that goes into rotation until I need more dice. Punishing them for doing that is doing absolutely nothing, naturally, but it's kind of funny. Let's see if our new set of dice will give us any better luck here. Okie dokie, we were at the beginning of a turn now. So obviously we kind of skipped the monster's turn again. I think strategically that skeleton ought to stay where it is until the heroes can start, or it can start shooting at them, or they can start shooting at it. So let's go back to Grimina there, who's at the front of the party. I'm so glad she's painted now. You can tell Grimina apart from the other heroes so much easier. New movement dice. Oh no, a 5. Is it the dice or the roller? Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's it. Nobody's here to punish me, that's for sure. If I get put in the corner, who plays the quest? The new movement dice haven't helped us even a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There she is. Okay, Valerna is still back here at the corner of the hallway. Second chance, new dice. You gonna give us something better? Nope, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sir Ragnar. Now see, that's okay. 9? Why can't we be getting stuff like that? I guess Ragnar's meant to get to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He off camera? Pretty much. We could do with another reset. Keep everybody a little bit better on camera. And finally, Robert Tylan, the Berserker, also gets a fairly decent roll. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not even facing him where he's going. Let's get him faced a little better. Actually, let's take a look real quick. Yeah, what direction is he looking in is a good question. So he kind of looks like he's kind of looking towards this arm. Not exactly, but that's something I got to keep in mind because I tend to face him like this, but that's not correct. That has him looking at the wall. Really, he ought to be like that. Yeah. Try rolling with the other hand. I will. We'll see if that does something. Okay, let's take a look at the skeleton over here. The skeleton archer is getting kind of close to the hero, so you can kind of see Ragnar there in the bottom left corner, and now my face cam is blocking the skeleton. How many can those guys move? Is it 6 that skeletons move? I have forgotten. 6, yes. So if he moves 6, will he be in range of Ragnar? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would put him right on this square. And then Ragnar is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just out of range from that. Okay, so I think for one more turn, we will leave that skeleton right where he's at. And then after that, we might let him move and try and get an upper hand on those heroes before they can shoot at him. Or it. Or whatever that skeleton was before it became a skeleton. Grimina. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off camera, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's definitely within range of that skeleton now. Yeah, she's real close to it. Valerna, she is at the back of the party currently, clear back by that brown room. She's going to be moving 10. Good, these dice, they hurt us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. You know what? I just realized I've accidentally cheesed. Grimina could have shot at that skeleton, but I did not have her do that. Too late. My bad. Didn't think about it. Ragnar. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to move with the other, roll with the other hand. 4. Left hand's worse than the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bohemia says, do I use the new unthreatened movement rule? No, I do not. Now, I don't blame them for adding it because I know a lot of people were complaining about that. The reason that I don't is because I feel like the dice determining whether a hero moves a lot or a little helps with who gets to the door first. So it does have a direct effect on the gameplay regarding who gets to the room, which might affect the outcome of how things go in that room. And so while it is kind of annoying, especially if they're getting garbage rolls, because I feel like it has a direct effect on how the game is played, I will always roll for them. Finally we have, that was a dumb noise I just made. Finally we have Robert in the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not rolling very fast, but I think we're getting everybody over here to the other camera pretty close anyway. That skeleton can now shoot at Gramina, and it doesn't even have to move to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, she is well within his range. Now the skeleton archers don't shoot with very much, but they do shoot a little. So the skeleton puts an arrow in its bow and fires at Gramina, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. What's her defense looking like again? Also only 2. That's kind of crazy for a dwarf. She does not defend a single thing, taking both hits. Ouch. Come on, Gramina. She wasn't paying attention. She had to bend down to tie her bootlace, I guess. She wasn't paying attention. Caught an arrow to the face. Luckily, she has very tough skin, and she's fine. Speaking of her, it is her turn again. Now, is she going to shoot back at that guy, or is she going to move up to him? Ouch, yeah, imagine that. Yeah, exactly. Gramina is hilariously useless in all of her forms. What's she going to do? Is she going to shoot or do close range? She is going to shoot, which is good. She's got a crossbow. She puts an arrow in that crossbow and fires off at that skeleton, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton blocks. I've just realized as well that there is indeed a trap in that hallway that I said there wasn't. So I guess we're gonna go with what I said, and I'm gonna relocate that trap to somewhere else in the map, because I should have put, there's supposed to be a pit trap in front of him. But whoops-a-daisy, wasn't paying, me and Gramina both, not paying close enough attention. Valerna, or yeah, Gramina can still move too, can't she? I guess I'm trying to end her turn a little bit early. Let's get her close to that skeleton, so she'll just take care of that guy. Trap him in the corner there. Now Valerna, at an awkward point of the map. Here she is, right in the middle there. Ooh, she got a 12. Finally, somebody got a decent movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will let her to be the one to open the door over here, since she got over here. She's gonna open the door into this brown room where she finds another door. Whoops. Ooh, a no good pack of 4 skeletons. There's my regular skeletons, here we go. Got a good mix of the old guys and the new guys here. Mostly old guys, looks like. Seems odd that a skeleton would be hurt by an arrow when you think about it. That's true. Skeleton, skeleton. Slightly newer skeleton. Skeleton. And in addition to this, indeed, we find Balur the Fire Mage himself, standing right here in the first room, almost, that they opened. And this, by the way, is the mini that I use for him. I've decided that he's kind of a reptilian guy. This is not a HeroQuest miniature, one of the few times that I'll use something that isn't a HeroQuest miniature. I don't know what this guy is. Oh, he is a troglodyte. Well, for today, he is Balur the Fire Mage. And he is right here, very unhappy about heroes intruding in his lair. Valerna's still got plenty of movement left. Is she going to search that room for traps or do something else? She's gonna do something else. Now, is she gonna walk into the room and fight, or is she gonna shoot from her current position? She's gonna walk into the room and fight. Okay, just for the sake of what would a player really do, which one of those skeletons is she gonna go for? She is going to go right there. That was a lot of card drawing for a fairly simple movement, but that's what we gotta do. Okay, she is going to attack with her brand new broadsword, swinging at that skeleton and hitting it with a 2. You know what, I just realized she's targeted the only Avalon Hill skeleton in there. She must have something against the new miniatures, which is ironic considering she is one of the new miniatures. Skeleton is gone. That puts us at Sir Ragnar, who's still back in the hallway. Is the other camera on him? Yeah, he's at the front there. Those are attack dice, not movement dice. There we go. I'm not on the game today, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Puts him right in the doorway of the room there. Let's get him on the other camera. There he is. Is he going to search for traps or fire from his current position? He is going to fire right there. So again, and you guys make sure again that you keep me on track with this because I'm super forgetful. We're going to have Ragnar use that new crossbow only when he has no other choice because he much prefers to get in the fray. He does not have movement to go in that room, so this is a good time to have him go ahead and shoot at somebody. Now, I'd say he could see anybody other than Balur because we won't let him fire through that skeleton. So which of those 3 skeletons is he going to fire at? In fact, you know what? I'm going to mark it to just these 2 because it seems unlikely that he would fire at these guys when these guys are targets. He's going to shoot at the one on the left. Puts an arrow in his brand new crossbow and fires, hitting the skeleton with a 2. And the skeleton does not defend. And again, we must ask ourselves the question that Dan posed. Is it weird for me to say Dan is my dad? I want to say dad. How did that arrow kill that skeleton? Maybe it knocked its head off or something. I don't know. And then finally we have Robert Tylan, who's back here still in the hallway trying to get up to the action. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Didn't quite get there. Monster's turn. Oh good, we've got everybody on the other camera now. Monster's turn here. We've got that skeleton archer. Let's go ahead and take care of him first because that'll be easy. Now the archer monsters are meant to be long-range monsters, so their close range is kind of garbage. Let me review here. Yes, we're only gonna roll him 1 dice. So essentially he's just trying to whack Gramina on the top of the head with that bow. Let's see if he manages to cause any damage. Nope, she apparently manages to wave that off. Didn't matter. Now in that room, we've got a bad situation going on here. We've got 2 skeletons and Balur. Let's take care of the skeletons. Let's get one on Ragnar. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. I think he rolls 3 for defense. Am I right? Yes, indeed. And he blocks the attack just barely. We've got another skeleton here, swinging its scythe at Valerna, hitting her with a 1. I think she's only got 1 defense. Or 2 defense, sorry, yeah. It hit her with a 1. She blocks the attack. And finally we have Balur, who can physically attack, but is much more of a spellcaster. His physical attack is kind of weak, and he does have some pretty good spells here. Now we have a spell we want him to cast, but we need to see if he's going to do something else first. So he's got a special spell that he's either going to cast right now or on the next turn. Let's see which one it's going to be. Red is going to be right now, black is going to be next turn. Red, okay. So in this timeline, Balur is a little bit of a wuss, and he is going to start off his turn by casting the Escape spell. This spell allows the spellcaster to disappear and instantly teleport to a secret location on the quest map. If the safe place is not specifically marked on the quest map, put the spellcaster in any room the heroes have not yet explored, or if they've explored the entire map, put the spellcaster as far away from the heroes as possible. So this is kind of a special effect spell, but clearly Balur was not ready for those heroes. He didn't expect those guys. So the moment they opened the door and started taking those skeletons out, he was like, uh-oh, and boom, he disappears. So if you were wondering why the boss of the quest is in basically the first room, he kinda isn't. Bohemia says, I got 2 sets of miniatures because I like to separate them by scale and proportions. I use the old ones also for Advanced Hero Quest and Warhammer Quest. Nice! Yeah, that makes sense. Advanced Hero Quest is something that I never managed to get my hands on. I think Dad's got one. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that if you're still in here. I've never gotten Advanced Hero Quest, but that is definitely a good one. And Warhammer. I've got some Warhammer stuff, I think. Well, if I do, it's put away somewhere. Because of course it was, you know, it was supposed to be in the same kind of world as the original Hero Quest stuff was, and so a lot of the miniatures were at least comparable in size and that sort of stuff. So there was a little while that we were getting stuff like that. We had a really neat store that was about an hour away from us called Bookery Fantasy, and it's still in business, but it doesn't, I think they moved buildings or something. It doesn't really feel like it did when we used to go when I was younger. But they had a bunch of the Dark Heaven miniatures. So I've got a bunch of the metal Dark Heaven miniatures and stuff from that store that I used to use all the time for this sort of stuff. And I think that's where we would have gotten Warhammer stuff. Occasionally we would find old Hero Quest miniatures like in Ziploc baggies in a table. Dad says he has Advanced Hero Quest and a ton of Warhammer. Easy to print and play now, a lot of compendium made by fans. That is very true, Bohemius, yes. Ye Olde Inn is such a tool for that stuff, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of tools for getting that sort of stuff. And Ye Olde Inn has been around for ages. That's how before they were remaking all this stuff, I was able to get a lot of the, you know, the cards that I could print and quest books that I could print and stuff from, you know, getting it off Ye Olde Inn. Of course, Dad also always had all that stuff too, so we could scan and print copies of stuff that I could use. But yeah, absolutely. The 3D printers changed the game for this stuff. I need to get my hands on one of those. I'd love to have custom minis for every mini boss and different custom heroes and that sort of stuff. Someday. Okay, that concludes the monster's turn, and we are back to the heroes. So we're going to start with Grimina, who's up there in the corner fighting that skeleton. Let's see if she can get rid of that guy. She takes a swing with her broadsword, right? Yes, broadsword. Hitting the skeleton with a 1. Hopefully that's enough. Indeed it is. The skeleton does not defend, and she takes it out. Yeah, okay. Making sure I put that in the right drawer. With her second action, there's really nothing else she can do. She can't move into the room because that skeleton's in the way. There's nothing else to search for here. She can't attack again, because theoretically she could fire at that skeleton, but she can't attack twice on a turn. So we are done with her. Valerna needs to try and get rid of that skeleton that she is right in front of. That is these two right here. Valerna swings her broadsword at the skeleton and misses. Ooh, I guess that is a new weapon. She must not be super good with it yet. This room hasn't been searched for anything. Is she going to search for traps or secret doors? It's going to be a secret door search first, and there are none in this room. Also need to shuffle my randomizer deck here real fast. Yes, I've got a decent collection of all of this stuff. You know, I've got 4 of the original Hero Quests, 4 of the newer Hero Quests. I got 2 of each Keller's Keep and Witch Lord, the original expansions, and 1 Mage of the Mirror, which was a recent acquisition, and then, you know, a whole bunch of the new stuff, of course. But my collection pales in comparison to Dad's collection of not only Hero Quest stuff, but just all of the Warhammer and just all sorts of different games. I mean, it's staggering. I bet I don't even have half of the stuff that he has. It's amazing the amount of things that he is able to incorporate, and it makes sense, and it still feels like Hero Quest, even though a lot of it isn't. I assume anyway, because I think we may have talked recently about, did you remove a bunch of non-Hero Quest stuff from your rotation, or am I remembering that wrong? I certainly had a lot more non-Hero Quest stuff that I was using that I reset, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to use at least 99% actual Hero Quest stuff now that there's so much more actual Hero Quest stuff. And you don't have to go spend hundreds of dollars on eBay to get a hold of something. Valerna, we just finished Valerna's turn. So we are at Ragnar, who is also in combat with a skeleton. He swings his broadsword, hitting the skeleton with a 1. Come on, guys, get better rolls than that. The skeleton does not defend, so he still manages to take it out. What else can he do? He is looking into that room, so he can either search for traps or move in there. He's going to search for traps. That's a smart move. Excuse me, smart move. No traps in that room, though. Okay, and then Robert Tylen, our Berserker, is still kind of back away from the group. See if we can get him up and in there. Maybe. 6 is not very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just enough to get him right up to that skeleton. He swings his broadsword at the skeleton, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. That is also a skilled strike. The skeleton can't possibly defend that, making it super dead. Yes, killing a skeleton at any point is kind of super dead, right? Because they're already dead. What is the proper terminology for that? I mean, kill is probably the thing everybody's going to say, but are the damage they've afflicted on the skeleton is greater than the power of the reanimation spell, or however it is that the undead came back? Destroying it rather than killing it maybe is a better terminology. Okay, and just basically by that luck, no monsters on the board. Justin Paul says cadaverific. I love it. Bohemia says, I try to paint one miniature every time you do a live stream, which is helping me paint my collection. Oh, that is fantastic. That is a great way to do that. Yes, I bet. I am so glad that my wife got into painting this stuff, because that is something I've thought about doing some sort of YouTube or Twitch stream of HeroQuest forever and ever and ever, and one thing that has stopped me consistently is knowing that I feel like people aren't going to be interested in watching unpainted stuff, and I just have no interest in painting them myself at all. It doesn't bother me if they're not painted. I totally agree that the painted ones look better, but it doesn't bother me if they're unpainted, and I knew that I wouldn't have the patience or the steadiness of hand, and so when Savannah tried this and she got really, really good at it, that's godsend right there. All right, good. I can have really, really good paint jobs, and I don't have to do it. And I don't have to pay somebody else to do it either. And also, just a side note, I should stop getting distracted. It was her idea to take over a couple of nights on the stream to paint. I was just gonna stream like basically every night myself playing quests. And then when she brought up, I'll probably paint a lot more if I do a couple of streams as well. God, genius idea. Great, absolutely. Fantastic. And it's been going really good too. Okay, this is Gramina, because we're back to the beginning. Oh, and Justin says Savannah's getting me to paint more too. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, again, she just, like from the first time she tried it, it just looked amazing, which is great. I couldn't have hoped, even if I cared more about having them painted, I wouldn't have been able to do as good a job as she is doing. So, man, that just worked out in every possible way. Okay, so Gramina moved 10, so we do need to ask ourselves, is she going to stop in that room and search for treasure, or is she just going to open that next door? She's going to open the next door. That's unfortunate, because it's actually the explorer really ought to be the one searching for treasure. She has a lot of benefits the other characters don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's have her open this door and see what's going on in this blue room. Let me move the camera just a little bit so we can get the blue room a little more on camera. There we go. We have a split path here. There is a door here. There is another door here? Yes, here. And there is also one zombie hanging out in this room. We're getting all of the Milton Bradley zombies tonight. There we are right there. Okay, Gramina, what are we doing? Are we stopping and searching for traps right here? Yes, she is. There are no traps in that new room. Valerna, treasure or leave? She's gonna search for treasure. And just make sure that there's nothing special in here. Nope, the special note in this room is just because Balur was standing in there. There we go. Let's see what she finds. You accidentally trigger a spring-loaded mechanism which crushes a glass vial and showers you in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it lands on a skull, you lose a body point. On any other result, you are unharmed. Let's see if she manages to push off the effect. She does. She is unaffected by the poison. That's handy. That leaves her another action that she can leave. However, yeah, that room was searched for traps, so they can get in there without any worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just let her get up here to the zombie. Next is Sir Ragnar. Let's see if we can get him in there to the zombie. The brown room has been searched for everything, so we need to get into that blue room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, perfect. Ragnar swings his broadsword at the zombie, hitting it with a 2. It blocks one, but not the other. It is dead. Again. What do we got here? Justin says, I need to learn how traps work, or maybe it's messed up in this game. For some reason, if I reveal a trap, it disappears again, and I just tried to jump one, but it didn't work. Oh, yes. I think that the it disappearing again is a normal game mechanic. I put traps down and leave them there because I have a terrible memory, and I will forget which traps I've shown and which ones I haven't. So I just leave them down. But I think in the original game, when you search, Zargon is just supposed to indicate, like, there's a trap here, or something like that. And I've just always done that different because I know I'll forget. Bohemia says, I started painting minis in '95. I paint so many for commissions that I had to stop for some years. I got back my paint and brushes when they republished Hero Quest. That's awesome, man. It's good enough to be doing commissions for people. Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of people in this community around here that were doing that. And we did ask a guy, there's a miniature store here in Greenville that's fairly new. And there was a guy hanging out in there who was looking to start painting for commission. And we asked him, and he gave us a really good price, but when I told him that I had probably somewhere near 1,000 minis, the look on his face, I don't think that that's what he had in mind when it came to painting somebody else's stuff, was 1,000 minis. Plus that would have cost us, you know, an understandably a lot of money. So again, it's just really, really fantastic that Savannah tried it and was good at it. But also glad that something lit the fire under you again to start doing that. I have to imagine that if you're really good at this, that's got to be a lot of fun. I have drank a lot of Mountain Dew in my life, and I shake really bad all the time, so I'm quite sure that I would not be able to do the little details. So let's see, Ragnar just did that, so we are at Robert Tylan. Let's get him moving as well. And 2 is no help. He can't even move both of those. 1. No monsters on the board, excuse me. So we are at Gramina. Now she can search for secret doors where she's at, or she can move. So are we doing search for secret doors, move into the room and search for treasure? Well, should we just do this as a 50-50? Probably, I'm overthinking it. Search for secret doors, move into the room and search for treasure, move into the room and just leave immediately. Or actually, let's roll and see, will she even have enough movement to leave immediately? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so she could theoretically leave immediately. And that is what she's going to do. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one dwarf who is totally oblivious to the wonders of treasure. She opens this door out into the other room, and what we have here is, excuse me, a wall, which we know about already. And then, we can do this without moving the camera. There is another wall here, blocking off movement down this hallway. So this is actually another really long hallway that we can see all the way down, and moving all the way down this way, there is nothing else for us to reveal at the moment. Gramina, she is out of moves. She can't actually go out there. She might as well search. Is it going to be traps or secret doors? Secret doors. Okay. I mean, I guess that's a fair point. She wants to know if there's something worth going out there for. And at least right at the moment, the answer is no. No secret doors from this square right here all the way down to the corner. We are also seeing, just in case anybody's in here that has never seen this before, we have a good old version of the Milton Bradley OG Hero Quest map over here with these weird little wooden markers on it. Those are my searching markers because, again, I have absolutely awful memory, so I use those to mark down when somebody has searched for something. Red means we've searched for traps, brown means we search for secret doors, green means we've searched for treasure. Justin says, it also don't help this game assumes you already know how to play. It doesn't teach you anything, so I'm learning through trial and error. Yeah. That's a fair point. That's surprising that it didn't offer you at least like some sort of PDF of the rules. I think I could probably send you a PDF of the original rules. I'm pretty sure I have those if you're interested in those, or if you feel like you got a pretty good grasp on it and you want to keep doing it the way you are, by all means. If not, I should be able to send you. I've got a PDF of my rules, but that's not going to help you with what you're doing. I'm pretty sure I have a PDF of the original rules too. Definitely would have been something I got off Ye Olde Inn if I've got it. Okay, Valirna, the elf, what is she going to do? Search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave? Oh, that's no help. She's going to leave. Okay, she got a pretty good roll. Is she going to go out that hallway that Gramina just opened up, or is she going to go out the other door? She's going to go with Gramina. Okay, now we didn't search for traps. 1, 2, so are we going to stop right here and search for traps? No. Okay, now we know since there's no secret doors that there is nothing here, so there's no reason for us to see if she's going to go that way. They know there's nothing that way. So she is going to be walking down the other way. What did she move? That was 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and right here she steps on a spear trap that she should have searched for. Now spear traps, they fire and then they're gone, so there's no reason for us to put a tile down. Let's see if she gets hurt by it or if she managed to jump out of the way. She did indeed manage to jump out of the way. Next question, did she jump back or forward? She is going to jump forward. There she goes. And that is actually her last movement, 10. So luckily she didn't get hit, and also luckily there's not also a trap standing right there where she's standing. So just goes to show you, always search for traps. Speaking of that, she's got a second action, and traps is the only other thing that can be searched for. Let's have her do that. In this hallway, how much of it are we seeing? There is only one other trap other than the one she just stepped on, and it is a spear trap right up here for anybody that might be dumb enough to walk up that direction before they've searched for secret doors. I'm sure I can get a PDF. It's not an overly difficult game. I don't mind reading it. Nice. Oh yes, and Bohemius is asking a question about that. Yeah, I'll let Justin answer that, but yeah, the short answer is yes. He found a free computer game version of it. He's been sending me some pictures of it. Looks really neat. I don't know if I could go back to strictly real rules to play it myself, but the visuals, whoever decided on the visuals of it did a fantastic job. It looks really, really good because it just looks like you're actually playing the board game. They didn't try to over stylize it or anything. It just looks like the board game. Okay, Ragnar. Oh yeah, and Justin got the link for it right there. It hasn't been updated for a while, which is a shame. It seems like it only has the Coming Storm book. And it'd be really neat if the creators added in some of the other expansions. It's maybe since 23 or anything since anybody said anything about it. But whoever created it, again, just absolutely fantastic job. Ragnar. Searching for treasure or leaving. Oh, or secret doors. Secret doors, treasure, or leaving. He is going to do secret doors here, and there are none in this room. Second action there, Ragnar. Treasure or leave. He's going to leave. Okay, now we've already got 2 heroes going out Gramina's way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is going to open this bottom door. Now he won't be able to move out into the hallway. He's out of movement. And he's out of action, so he also won't be able to search anything. But we can go ahead and show what's going on down here. Now we already know about the wall that's right here. We also have a door on the corner here. And right at the moment, that is all that we have to show, so that the hallway is open down this direction, but we'll wait until somebody gets closer to do that. As I mentioned, Ragnar doesn't have any more movement to go out there. He also doesn't have an action to search, so he's done. So Robert Tylan, who's still standing up in that brown room, the party's kind of leaving him behind this time around. He needs to get up in there. That's a good movement. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and stop him right there. Is he going to stop and search for treasure, yes or no? He is. He's just going to go ahead and hang out right there. I've just thrown a treasure marker somewhere too. Ah, good. Let's see what he finds in this room. Robert searches for treasure, and suddenly the stone beneath his feet gives way. He falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. That's not really a big deal for him. He benefits from having a lower number of body points. Justin says, it's slow though. The pieces take a while to move to where they're going, but it's nice because dice rolls are automated, and so is the Dungeon Master. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, you'd think they'd put like a setting in there or something where you could have the characters move a little faster. That'd be a nice kind of quality of life thing. No monsters on the board, so we are right back to Gramina standing in the door of that hallway. Everything's been searched in the hallway, so she just needs to move out there. Gosh, I can't hold on to a thing tonight. Only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's still on camera. She's getting pretty close to being off camera. Let's poke the camera over just a hair. We have Valirna next, who is also out there. Bohemia says it looks like an advanced version of Lurch Brick. Interesting. I don't think I've heard of Lurch Brick. That would make sense, though, if it's kind of based on something. Because it looked like it, I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff going on in that. So if it was based on something, that would make sense. Okay, Valirna here is at the front of the party. No more searching, it's just moving. Moving. Gosh, I am totally useless tonight, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now she's got some movement left, but she can see down this hallway down here. Let's move the camera just a little bit more. We've got a wall right here. We've got 2 doors, one leading into this blue room. Oops. And another one leading into this red room. There is also a skeleton down here. There we go. Okay, Valirna did have some movement left, so we need to determine, is she going to stop here and search for traps, or is she going to try and get that skeleton out of there? She's going to search for traps. That is definitely a good move, because there is a trap almost right in front of her face. The very first square in this new hallway has a spear trap right there. Now, Gramina's the only one in the party who can get rid of traps. So she's going to have to get down there. Or Valirna, honestly, spear traps aren't that big of a deal because trying to jump a spear trap has the same odds as disarming one unless the dwarfs level up their machinery and get better at disarming traps. Justin says, I don't have $100 to buy physical yet, so this is fine to play for now. I have a regular game group. I might see if they want to split the cost. That would be, yeah, absolutely. Bohemia says, trap's not visible because the master shows the position, but you must memorize where it is. You can't jump a trap that's not triggered in the old rules. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yep. That's ringing a bell. As soon as you said that, it makes sense. It's fair, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, and Ragnar. So now we are here at Ragnar. Ragnar has the option to search this hallway for traps, search the hallway for secret doors, or go ahead and move out into it. And he is going to search it for secret doors, which I would say that's, I mean, why wouldn't you search for traps first? But on this particular night, he happened to get lucky, and he was right. There is a secret door right there. It's nice to see that pay off every once in a while, doesn't it? It says I don't have any tools to disarm yet. Oh yes, your dwarf can. Your dwarf just can naturally. But anybody else has to have a toolkit. The only tool is the dwarf at the beginning. Exactly. Yep. And your dwarf will have an easier time doing it than somebody with a toolkit too. That's something that I recently changed in my game, was I nerfed the dwarf a little bit for the sake of having room to build in skill sets. Maybe I will grab a PDF and read up on this. Yeah, yeah. It's simpler than D&D, but it is still complicated in its own way, that's for sure. Okay, Ragnar, second action. Search that hallway for traps or move out into it. He's gonna move. Okay, and not very far either. Which door is he gonna go for is another good question. He's gonna go for the far door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, he did not step on any traps. And then we have Robert Tylan, the Berserker, who got another pretty decent move there. We know he's gonna go with Ragnar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since he landed right in front of this door right here, let's just go ahead and have him open that. Let's try and get a little closer to the action. This camera arm doesn't like staying down, but we'll try. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Robert opens up the door into this yellow room, revealing another door. And also 2 skeletons. Got a skeleton right here and a skeleton right here. So luckily, we don't really need to ask. I think, is there any berserker ever that would ever search for traps over fighting a monster that's right in his face? I doubt it. The berserker swings his broadsword at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2. It does not block. Dead as soon as the door was open. I wonder, is Merlin still here? Is Merlin still in the chat? Is this making you want to play? I need to get Merlin over here to play. We're getting a lot of people that we're going to have to figure out how to do remote guests and some in-person guests. I think Merlin and I used to do this every week, at least once a week. We need to get him back over here doing this. As soon as I figure out a multi-camera setup that allows me to get somebody else a face cam and a dice cam, we're going to make that happen. And then after that, we're definitely going to be tackle remote guests. Yes, Merlin's still here. Merlin Zanzar. We need to get you. Yes, for sure. Absolutely. Definitely got to get you over here. Okay, that is our hero's turn. That leads us to the monster's turn, and we have a couple of things to do. Let's go ahead and stay here for a second since the camera's already pointed here. This skeleton here, 1, 2, 3, 4, can attack that berserker. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting Robert Tylan with a 1. He's still got kind of garbage defense. And he does not block the attack. That puts him down to 9 body points. By the way, after the last quest, he did his Constitution skill, which means his maximum body points was 11. So he's taken 2 damage for anybody who's been keeping track. So he is now at 9. And then we have the skeleton that is down here that should be able to move over there to Valerna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. And again, monsters do not trigger traps, so that skeleton can step over that spear trap. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting Valerna with a 1. She's only got 2 defense, right? Yes, that was correct. And she blocks it, but just barely. Okie dokie, back to the beginning. We now have Gramina right up here at the top, who is moving down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now she does have a bow, so I think she's got a crossbow. Is that right? Yes, indeed. Gramina puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires, but misses because, as always, she's a terrible shot. She misses so often with that thing. Justin says, is Merlin the other Afterwinter guitar player? And if so, I may be interested in that 7-string you were looking to sell. Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. I forgot to tell you about that, Merlin, when you were over on Wednesday, that I'm kind of leaning towards not taking it, and then if you were going to sell it, and Justin here might be interested in that. That would make me feel better also if Justin had it, because if I took that particular guitar back, it would only be because I still own most of the guitars that I've ever owned, and I like to keep, you know, it feels like merch, you know what I mean? It was used on a lot of Afterwinter stuff. I'd like to have it, but I also, I don't want it to just, I've got too many guitars. I don't want it to sit in the corner doing nothing. So going to somebody who's, you know, closely related to the band make me feel better about it too. Okay, Gramina is being useless as always, so let's go over to Valirna here, who is right next to that skeleton. Valirna swings her broadsword at the skeleton, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. That guy is gone. Skilled strike there too. The skeleton couldn't possibly have defended that, making him a super dead. Valirna's second action, is she going to move or search that hallway for secret doors? So again, it would be kind of dumb for her to move because of that trap, but she has the same likelihood of jumping that trap as Gramina has disarming it. So I don't really feel too bad about giving her that option. So is she going to move or search for secret doors? She's going to do the secret door search. She's being a little conservative with her body points, which is not a bad thing. No secret doors in that little area right there. Savannah says, Gramina has a plan in place for everything she does. Yes. Maybe there was another trap that nobody caught on the wall and her arrow appeared to miss the monster, but it stuck in that trap. Justin says, I've been collecting some harder to get stuff from all the bands Luke is in. I have one of Justin's basses. Yep, I also have really old Right Way demos somewhere and tab from Bio and Afterwinter. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that is true. Collecting all the good old stuff. Ragnar is up here. Let's move the camera just a little bit. Marlon says, sounds good. Not sure what it's worth exactly. Luke, what do you think it's worth by chance? That is a good question. I believe when it was new, I paid $5.99. Oh my gosh, Justin, you have that cover of Animal. Oh, throw that away. Throw it away. Oh, the horror. I bet that took some years off the end of your life hearing that. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, I think I paid $5.99 for it new. Do you remember now what I sold it to you for? Was it $5.50? Because again, it's still fairly new. It's only been in either my possession or your possession for probably like a year and a half or maybe 2 years. And you take really good care of any instrument that you have in your possession, so it's still really good quality. I'd say maybe $4.50 or maybe $5 it would be worth. So it's a 7-string, it's a Petrucci signature, it's Sterling by Music Man. I'll look into that too. Oh hey, somebody's rating our channel, thank you. Hello everybody new, we're playing Hero Quest. I'm gonna stop being distracted and get to it so that you can see it. How? Hello. Thank you for the first time chat. Oh man, we got a whole bunch of people. How's it going everybody? Thanks for the raid. Very much appreciated. Let's get into playing here. Yeah. Amazing map, thank you. Yes, this is a 3D board, the Dragon's Rest board, painted by my wife, who also paints on this channel occasionally. All right, we are at Sir Ragnar, the knight who is standing right here, and he is heading towards this door. Let's get him moving over there. If you direct your attention to the bottom left of the screen, you will find a dice cam where you can help keep me on track and make sure I'm moving people correct. Ragnar is gonna move 1, 2, he doesn't have to move that whole movement, and open the door. And in this tiny little room that we're seeing right here, there currently is absolutely nothing. Nice little dice game, yes, absolutely. This is Hero Quest. It was originally created back in 1989. and then didn't really do a whole bunch through the late 90s and early 2000s. Hasbro fairly recently bought it and put out everything. So Avalon Hill, owned by Hasbro, has been putting out an absolute ton of stuff for this game since like probably 21 or 22. Bohemians can correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's really reignited the fire on a lot of people to play this game. Definitely nice. Ragnar's got some actions he can do. Is he going to search this room for traps, search this room for secret doors, or continue his movement into the room? He's going to search that room for further secret doors, and there are none. Yes, indeed. So not too much going on in that room. We are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker, this guy right here who is in combat with a skeleton. Let's see if he can get rid of that guy. He's going to swing his broadsword. And he has hit that skeleton with 2 skulls right there, which is pretty good. The skeleton has a chance to defend those, though. And it did not, making that skeleton dead again, I guess. The skeleton's out of there. The best dice game, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, you got a Yeti there, Bohemians. Man, I say it every time you put one of those in there, man, but I gotta get a hold of those. Those are so great. I can't wait for the heroes to start running into Yetis and stuff. Those are dangerous monsters. Okay, it is now the monster's turn. However, there are none on the board at the moment, so we are, whoops, sorry about the rapid camera movement there. We are at Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer, who is this hooded character right here. Gramina is going to try and get to that door down there in that, either the blue room or the red room. There's 2 doors down here, I guess. Let's see what she's going to do. Now, Gramina is canonically kind of useless, so let's see if she can break that stigma here. 1, 2, 3. Is she going to jump that spear trap or get hit by it? She got hit by it. Ah. So the spear trap triggers, a spear shoots out from the wall, hitting Gramina. Luckily, it's not too bad of a wound, but she did lose a body point. This drops her to 7 total body points, and as I'm sure you could put together, if she reached 0, she dead. Justin says something about being in a hall instead of a room. My crossbow doesn't like it. Okay, so I wonder if it's code in that game that you're playing that's making that weird, because I don't think there's anything in the actual game rules about hallway and room long range reacting differently. Excuse me. Okay, now Gramina does technically have another action, even though she got hit by the trap, but she can't open the door, and there's nothing else to search for in this hallway. So we're going to hand it over to Valirna the Elf, who's standing right back here. Go ahead and get her moving. Which one of those doors is she going to go for? We're going to go for the door here. By the way, for everybody watching who doesn't know this game is normally meant to be played by at least 2 people. This is not Dungeons & Dragons, but it's kind of close. So I'm acting as both the Dungeon Master and as the hero. So I'm randomizing stuff with this deck of cards here because my knowledge of the quest map could theoretically make the quest go differently. So we're randomizing as much as we can. Bohemia says you can make your own emotes for the channel. These ones are from HeroQuest fans. That makes a lot of sense, and that is absolutely fantastic, those. Oh man. Chaos Warlock, we got a Yeti, we got the Goblin and the Skeleton and an Orc and a Zombie and a Femur and an Ice Gremlin too. Yes, Merlin says I don't like the Yetis. That's right, it wasn't too long ago that Merlin and I played through the Frozen Horror quest pack, and Merlin did not have a good time with that, let me tell you. Okay, Valirna is going to open the door up into this blue room. Now we know a little bit about this blue room already because there's a door here as well that the heroes were seeing from the yellow room. In this room, there is 2 more skeletons. Those are fancy skeletons. These are deep skeletons as well. Now these minis are not yet painted. They will eventually be painted also on this channel. So again, for new viewers here, on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights, we're going to be here doing this, always at midnight, thus the name, Midnight Quest. But on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, you will find my wife here instead, painting these. Free hugs! Yes! That's what those skeletons are offering right there. Now the deep skeletons are a little bit different. Again, since the miniatures aren't painted, they look like the normal skeletons. Deep monsters are slow, but they attack much higher. You do not want to get hit by one of these guys. Luckily, Valerna is face to face with one of them and can hopefully take one of them out before they get to do anything. So let's see, Valerna's got a broadsword. She is going to take a swing at the deep skeleton right in her face, hitting it with a 1. Let's see if it blocks that 1. It does. Now this is an old dice. This is one of the 1989 dice right here. This right here is supposed to be a black shield, and indeed at one time it was a black shield, but most of the black has kind of rubbed off of it. So this indicates that that skeleton blocked that hit. Okay, back up here to Sir Ragnar, the knight who just opened the door into that tiny room right there. He's got a few options. Is he going to search that room for traps, or is he going to move in there and search for treasure? He's going to go for the treasure first. Respectable, but also not very smart. Luckily, there is not a trap on that square. So let's get a treasure marker here and see what he finds. Got a big old treasure deck back here that we draw from anytime a hero searches for treasure. As Ragnar is searching, he hears the clack of a trap being sprung. Acting purely on instinct, he rolls forward, narrowly missing the huge axe that swung out from a hidden alcove in the ceiling. He hears a jingling clunk as a sack also falls from the alcove. Inside the sack is 50 gold coins. That's a pretty good search right there. That is going to put us up to 545 coins. So we can pay back that shopkeep that Gohan was talking about earlier. We didn't take the loan, but now we've got enough money to buy what I wanted to buy. Okay, that calls it for Ragnar's turn. We are now at Robert Tylan, our berserker here, who's got a few options for this yellow room. This yellow room hasn't been searched for anything yet. So traps, secret doors, or he can move in there and search for treasure, or he could go ahead and move in there towards this door to try and help with these skeletons. So let's see what he's going to do there. He's going to move in and search for treasure as well. Let's go ahead and get him close to that door at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lucky for him, there's no traps on any of those squares. Let's see what he finds. Oh no, he found a wandering monster. So a monster is going to hop out and attack him. Now, the wandering monster in this quest is a wasteland femur. Oh no. I've owned a lot of this stuff for a long time, okay? Back when I was probably 12 or 13, I got it in my head that I could probably do a decent job painting these guys, and oh, how wrong I was. This particular wasteland femur is a victim of my early attempts at painting. And why I thought him having a gold arm was a good idea, I'm not sure. Why I thought painting the top of his head silver would look like a helmet, I'm not sure. This is eventually going to get redone by my wife much, 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 much better. But for now, this terribly painted femur jumps out from the wall and attacks Robert Tylan, swinging its axe. It hits him with a 1. See if he defends. He does indeed defend that attack. Oh man, okay, and that concludes the hero's turn. That gets, yeah, we've got definitely plenty of monsters that we can get moving. So let's start first with the deep skeleton that is down here, attacking Valerna. I'm pretty sure they attack with 3, but let me review that here real fast. Yes, indeed. 3. The deep skeleton swings its scythe at the elf, hitting her with a 2. She does not block either. Taking both of those hits drops her to 9 body points. Justin says, I found 3 wandering monsters in my current quest. Oh man, your luck is not improving on that, man. Okay, now back up here with Robert Tylan, this femur is not going to attack again. So again, because it was found as a wandering monster, that just scooted its attack up a little bit in the turn order. It has already attacked this turn. This deep skeleton can also attack him though. So this deep skeleton is going to open the door and head back that way. Now monsters can't move through monsters, so this deep skeleton wouldn't have been able to do anything down here. But luckily, or I guess unfortunately in this case, it can indeed move up here and attack that berserker. Same thing, the deep skeleton swings its scythe, hitting the berserker with a 1. which he does block. Good, that could have been worse. Bohemia says my first miniature was worse than yours. Oh no! I'd be very interested in seeing that. I've got some awful ones, and honestly, this might be one of the worst ones of all of the ones I attempted to paint back then. I'm glad I didn't do too many of them, because ooh, ouch. Okay, back to the beginning of the turn order then, means that we are at Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer. She is right here. Now, normally she wouldn't be able to do anything. She could theoretically shoot at this skeleton, but we also have another door down here. So we better go ahead and draw and see what she's gonna do. Let's say red, she's gonna shoot. Black, she's gonna go for that other door. Okay, the cards have spoken. She has decided that Valerna has this under control, and she is leaving her alone. Hey, dice. You gotta actually land. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Justin says, the trick is to paint zombies. They're supposed to be ugly. That's a good point. My first was a little resin printed D&D zombie. Yeah, that is definitely a good point there. Okay, when Gramina opens the door into this red room, what she finds is one additional door, as well as, speaking of zombies, one zombie. Here we go. Another unpainted zombie mini right here. This guy is hanging out right here. Okay, Gramina, we still got movement left. Are we going to stop and search for traps or head in there? She is indeed going to search this red room for traps before she steps in there, which is a good idea because there is a pit trap in this room. Very avoidable, but some player who maybe forgot to search for traps could step on that in an attempt to get to the zombie, so it's a good thing she knows about it. Over here with Valerna, we're going to see if she can get rid of this deep skeleton. Valerna swings her broadsword, hitting that deep skeleton with a critical hit of 3, which is also a skilled strike, meaning that skeleton could not possibly defend that attack, even if it got as good as it could with its dice rolls. That guy is super dead. Out of here he goes. And back into the drawer. Valerna now has a second action to do something with this blue room. It hasn't been searched for anything yet. Is she going to search it for traps or secret doors? She's going secret doors. And there are none in that room. Yes, indeed. I'm going to grab a drink here real fast. Hey, if any of the viewers from the raid are still hanging out in here, I just want to mention I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. If you have any suggestions about what you're seeing or any questions about the lore or questions about game mechanics, don't be afraid to throw that stuff in there. I don't mind discussing that. I think plenty of the people in the chat know the homebrew rules that I'm playing well enough to also help explain stuff. And if you just want to chat too, by all means, throw anything in there you want. It's fun to play and chat. All right, what do we got next? Sir Ragnar is still up here in this room. Ooh, Bohemia says, mine was a metal elf painted with enamel paints. I didn't know how to use paint thinners. You can guess the results. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I think all of mine were enamel as well. They were testers, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think we got them at Walmart. I think back then you could buy the little miniature paints at Walmart. Now, my dad had done some before me, so we did have thinner, but that didn't help me do a very good job, that's for sure. Oh, do you still have that elf, Bohemians? That would be hilarious to see, but also really neat to give it another try and see how much better you could do nowadays. Justin says, I think I'm going to fail this quest. Barbarian and elf are dead. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, the dwarf is still theoretically good, but the wizard is, if you've only got 2 heroes left, the wizard is not one you want to be left with. Okay, Ragnar, there's nothing else to do in this room. There's no reason to search for traps. He's already stepped on every relevant square. He probably ought to go back over here and try and help Robert Tylan now that that guy is surrounded. 7 is a pretty decent roll. Let's get him back over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this room hasn't been searched for traps. Is Ragnar going to stop here and do that? Yes, he is. There are no traps in this room. Justin says, I'm going to try and cheese it with the door. Yeah. I mean, especially if you're in dire straits. I hate to say it, but that's the way to go. Okay, and Robert Tylan is here. He has two options, and honestly, these two monsters are, as far as attack goes, equally strong. However, he has a much better chance of killing the Deep Skeleton than the Femur. Let's get a little closer to the action here. Again, this camera arm does not like staying down, so the camera's not going to stay down there. That's a little closer at least. So let's see, let's roll him. Which one is he going to go for? Is he going to go for the stronger monster or the easier monster? Yeah, okay, he's going to go for that Deep Skeleton, and I think that's the way to go. So I'll eliminate some potential hits. The Berserker swings his broadsword and misses the Deep Skeleton entirely. That is no good, but we have something we can do about this. The Berserker has 3 skills over here that he can utilize whenever he would like to, and if I'm not wrong, I do believe that this one skill allows him to attack even if he's already attacked this turn. Okay, his Enraged skill reads, yes! As an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack, even if you have already attacked this turn. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. Excellent, so his Enraged skill will let him attack again. We're gonna have, ooh, ouch! I've trapped my knee under my table. There we go. We're gonna let him lose 1 body point, which drops him down to 8. He becomes enraged, and he is allowed to attack again, and this attack's gonna be slightly stronger. We're gonna add 1 dice to his attack roll, since he lost a body point. He swings at the Deep Skeleton again, this time hitting it with a 2, that's much better. And the skeleton does not defend. Out he goes. That's how you do it. If at first you miss, get mad and swing again. Okay, that takes us to the monster's turn there, and we've got a couple of monsters that we can do stuff with. This Femur is now able to attack again, and also this zombie that's down here with Gramina. Since we're already pointing at this room, let's take care of the Femur. Femur has 2 possible targets, but it's already standing next to Robert, so let's do that. The Femur swings its axe at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. That's kind of a lucky low hit. But he does not defend it. This drops him to 7 body points. Okay, down over here, let me move the camera over here just a little bit. We've got this zombie that can get to Gramina. There we go. The zombie swings its cleaver at Gramina. I remembered what my dad said earlier. And I do, now that I've said it, I do think that's what I was saying before. I don't know, my memory's garbage. Hits Gramina with a 1. She only have 2 defense dice, that is correct. And she does not defend the attack. This drops her to 6 body points. Now let's remember too, this quest isn't super long, but they've got a ways to go yet, and Valerna is the only one who can heal them. She's got 2 potions and 1 spell. So they better hope that they're staying fairly close to her if they're getting low. Okay, back to Gramina, where we're already pointing. She is now in combat with this zombie, and she's got herself a broadsword. She is taking a swing at the zombie, hitting it with a 1. The zombie defends the attack. Oh, that's unfortunate. However, she's still looking into the room, so she can use her other action to search that room for secret doors, and there are none. Merlin says, been playing Elden Ring. When a skeleton goes down, you have to strike it while it's down, or it rises again. Yes, that's a good mechanic. That makes sense. I have seen lots of footage of that game, but I've never actually played it. Bohemia says, I stripped that mini later on and repainted. It was part of my Warhammer Fantasy army. Sold the army before moving to the US 15 years ago. Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. That would have been a lot of stuff to move on. And it's kind of nice that the mini got like a redemption kind of as far as its paint. That's super neat. What do we got? We are at Valerna again. So we've got a couple things we can do. She could, let me move the camera here. She can search for traps from her current position. She could move in there and search for treasure. Or, let's go ahead and roll the dice and see what she would get if she's gonna move. Because she could also go in there to help with that Femur. Okay, so traps. move into the room and search for treasure, or move through the room to help with that femur. She's gonna do that last one, so she's taking a big risk here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and from here she can see that femur. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. Justin says spells don't like the hallway either. Huh, that's gotta be something in the code of that game. Almost surely. Okay, Balurna, we need some help with this femur. She's got a short bow. She's gonna go ahead and throw an arrow in that thing and fire it off. Hitting that femur with a 1, that's definitely not gonna kill it. And the femur doesn't block, it takes the damage, at least there's that. She's kind of chip damaging that guy down. That brings us over here to Ragnar, who specifically came over here to help with the battle and then showed up when the battle was pretty much over. Let's see if he can roll his way over there. Well, he's got a bow. No. I caught myself there. Yes, he's got a bow, but as we determined earlier, he's going to attack long range as often as he can. Bow is only for emergencies. I'll stick that in my brain. Ragnar swings his broadsword at the femur and misses. Maybe he should have shot. Okay, and Robert Tylan is also standing here. He can take a swing, see if he has better luck than Ragnar did. Robert swings his broadsword, hitting the femur with a 2. That's a little better. Femur blocks 1, but not the other, which means it is out of there. Unless it's because the dwarf is in front of me trying to cast Fire Wrap. Maybe, yeah, maybe that could be. It let me cast Courage. Maybe that is that. It doesn't want you to cast a spell through a different hero. I'll admit that while that is something that I changed, it does make a little bit more like real world sense. Not that this is the real world, but if we were picturing it to be, you know, casting a spell over the head of another hero is a little weird. You have to ask him to move out of the way. Or maybe, considering it was the dwarf, you just literally cast it over his head. All right, where were we? Robert Tylan just killed that femur. He does have another action left. There's one more thing to search for in this room. It's secret doors. Let's just go ahead and knock that out so that this room is done with. There are no secret doors in here. This leads us to the monster's turn, and the only monster on the board is this zombie down here attacking poor, useless Grimina. Is she useless because I keep telling it like that? Maybe I should stop saying it. The zombie swings his cleaver at Grimina and hits her with a critical hit of 2. Anybody want to take any guesses on whether she defends these? Let's see if she does. Hey! Players and viewers at home, if you guessed that Grimina was going to take the full force of that critical hit, then you won the prize money, which is $0, but you still won, and that means something. Grimina is now down to 4 body points. We need to get her out of there before she dies. It is her turn now, so let's see if she can hit this guy, but she may want to run after this if she doesn't get rid of it. Grimina swings her broadsword at the zombie, hitting it with a 2. That's a pretty good hit. The zombie defends 1, but not the other, so she does indeed get rid of it. It's kind of dangerous for her to be off on her own when she's that low on body points. Let's kind of see what would a player do here in this case. Now she could go up to Valerna and get one of those potions of healing, which would be smart. Or is she not super worried about the body points? She's still got 4 of them after all. Is she going to go in there and explore that room? We want to take a vote on that? What do you guys think? If you were playing and you were Grimina, would you be worried about having 4 body points left? Or would you just go ahead and keep exploring? I'm going to grab a drink while you guys are throwing some stuff in the chat there. Oh, I missed the comment there too. Justin did say that his dwarf was blocking line of sight. Okay, good to know. We've got conflicting ideas here. Justin says she's not worried, she's Grimina, but Merlin says get that potion. Savannah says, don't you be risky and careless with Gramina. But Bohemia says, explore. Oh no! The chat is divided. Do we have a tiebreaker? Do we have a tiebreaker? So we've got Justin Bohemia say explore. Merlin and Savannah say go for the potion. Somebody break the tie. Do we have any of our raiders left over here? She will live on no matter what happens. Yes, that's absolutely true. Okay, tell you what. Let's send her on. Oh, Gohan. Gohan, you're still here. Good. I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen you for a while. You got to be a tiebreaker here, Gohan. We got a hero that's almost dead. She's still got 4 body points, so she's not in like really bad danger of dying. Should she go get a potion of healing from one of the other heroes, or should she continue exploring? The chat is divided. Gohan, you got to help us out here, buddy. It's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. Let's. I'm gonna go ahead and roll our dice because either way, or no, that's tough. You're right. Either way, we got to determine how far can she get if she goes somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she wouldn't reach Valerna. Not that that would be a big deal. I feel like she would keep exploring. Okay, that's 3 votes for explore. I think that's what we're gonna go for. So let's hope. Let's cross our fingers and hope that everything is okay. So she needs to go in here and search for treasure. She's the only hero down here, so we would search that, but we can plant her in front of this other door. She at least knows she's not going to step in a trap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no need to get rid of that pit trap. It's avoidable. So let's go ahead and not open the door. Let's search for treasure. Let's see. Oh, Justin's still playing his quest. I don't think I can win. I only have 2 guys, but there's 3 chests. Ooh. Ooh. Have you searched for treasure or traps yet? Do you know if the chests are trapped? Oh, right. No, I remember what you're talking about. No, you're in Prince Magnus's gold, so you could get the chests out. Oh, yeah. I guess it depends on the programming of the game. That's true. It's going to nerf your movement, but would it let you take 2 of the chests back and then send a guy back for the 3rd chest? That's tough. All right, Gramina, what do we find? If this is a wandering monster, it might be really bad news. Okay, it's bad news, but it's not the worst news. Suddenly, the stone beneath her feet gives way. She falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. So she's down to 3. She's not dead. Here's what we can do to maybe satisfy both, okay? Valerna maybe ought to go after her to be there. Because Gramina and her were on a team together that split off from the rest of the group, and now Valerna's kind of come back up here. So she would surely feel like she probably ought to go check to make sure Gramina's okay. Before she does that, though, she needs to search for treasure in the room she's in, because it has not been done yet. It also hasn't been searched for traps, but she's stupidly stepped on every relevant square already. Gohan says, I believe in Gramina. Yes. Clap, clap. And Justin's about to find out. It's going to take forever. Yeah, that's no kidding, man. I always end that quest if there's no more monsters left anywhere, because you know eventually that they're going to get back there. Okay, Valerna is searching the blue room for treasure. What does she find? On a shelf near the back of the room, she finds a painted clay container that looks vaguely like a goblin's head with a slot on the top. After smashing it open, she discovers 15 coins. That's a weird treasure card, isn't it? That puts us up to 560 coins. And makes us morally question whether or not Valerna just stole a goblin's piggy bank money. Yeah, what do you do? Okay, with her other action, she is going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the direction of Gramina down into this hallway. Okay, Sir Ragnar up here. What do we have? This yellow room's already been fully searched, so pretty much everything they need to do has been done. The 2 of them can head off back that way. So let's get him moving in that hallway. No, Ragnar. 1, 2. I'm not sure what he was doing there. He had something else on his mind, something other than moving down the hallway. Okay, Robert Tylan, we got anything better going on there? Yeah, 7 is much better. He's leading the charge here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This ends his turn in the hallway. However, nobody did ever search this hallway for traps. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, there's only one square they haven't stepped on yet. No traps in the hallway, but at least they searched. Okay, thankfully, no monsters on the board. We are back to Grimina, who needs to open that door and figure out what is further down this direction. She is going to open this door, and she finds another wall. Huh. What a strange, weird thing. Now, I think we've also got just a little bit of a weird situation here, because the only purpose this hallway could serve, other than being a dead end, is if there was a secret door leading to a new area. But the only place a secret door could go is here, which wouldn't be helpful. So this hallway was just kind of a red herring, if you will. There's nothing down here. There's no reason to search. You can't search for treasure in the hallway unless there's a chest in it, and there isn't one here. There's nothing out there. Let's get her moving back. Remember, opening a door is not an action, so she technically still has both her actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll leave her, she has one more movement. We're gonna leave her adjacent to Valyrna so that they can get an item swap going on there. So it is now Valyrna's turn, and we're gonna start that turn by passing one of her potions of healing over to Grimina. And we won't write it on Grimina's sheet because she's gonna drink it at the beginning of her next turn. Passing an item is also not an action, so Valyrna can keep on moving. That's good. We've saved Grimina. She's probably not gonna die, but we haven't finished the quest and we haven't reached the boss. And oh boy, it's 2 o'clock. So let's get moving here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So everybody's kind of headed in the same direction there. Sharing is caring. That's absolutely right. I'd like to get through, if we don't end up finishing this quest tonight, it'll be the first time we didn't finish one quest in an episode, but I don't want to go too far past 3 a.m. We might have to wait till tomorrow night to see the finale if we don't get there. But we still got an hour. Let's see where we get. This is Ragnar. Finally got a pretty decent roll of 11 there, which means we're going to need to adjust the camera so we can see where he's going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in this new area that he can see now, we're going to place a couple of things. There is a wall. Yeah, that's pretty much out of camera. There's a wall right here that he can sort of kind of see. Excuse me, and that is at the moment it. Is he going to stop right here and search for traps? Yes, he is. Okay, we're going to let him search pretty much the entire square hallway surrounding the central room here, which is pretty normal for this. It's a big area, but it's easier than making people search for traps 4 times. So we're going to reveal traps and also walls, but nothing else. This doesn't reveal doors, it doesn't reveal monsters. So from this square, around the circle, or the square, wow, I know shapes, I promise I know shapes, to this wall right here, there are 2 traps. There is a pit trap in this corner, and there is a spear trap up over here. Okay, and that's going to conclude Ragnar's turn. We are now at Robert Tylan, the Berserker, who is standing right behind him, right there, who got a tiny, tiny little roll. 1, 2. Which direction is he going to go? Let's double weight going downwards because it appears that there is nothing up there. Unless we're going to stop him, and we should probably ask, is he going to search for secret doors? Let's do that. He is not going to search for secret doors, so which direction is he going to go then? He's going to go down. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, he does still have a second action, so even though he chose not to search for secret doors before, there's nothing else for him to do other than that. So we might as well go ahead and do that. In the same previously described area, from wall to wall, pretty much surrounding the entire central room, there are no secret doors. Okay, that takes us back to Grimina because there are no monsters on the board. So let's swing the camera over here to them. And until they move off camera, we're gonna just keep this camera over here. You can use the other camera. Secret doorway. Yeah, there's none. There was one earlier. I don't know if you were in here. Go ahead when that happened. They did actually find a secret door by searching, which is always neat. That starts getting a little more common later on. Okay, Gramina is gonna drink that potion of healing, so we're gonna put that in the treasure discard pile and heal her 1, 2, 3, and 4 points, putting her back up to 7 body points. Definitely much better than where she was before. Drinking a potion is not an action, so if she has some stuff to do, she's still got actions to do it. She's gonna move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Valerna, who is also standing right next to her, I'm gonna go ahead and get moving. Let's take a look at the position of our other camera. It's not really in a great space, but I like the mobility of the arm a little bit better. So we're gonna position this camera over here where most of the heroes are. And Valerna is currently off camera, but she's gonna move into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and she can't move her 9th square because he is in the way. Nothing else to search. We are done with her. Okay. Sir Ragnar is also hanging out right there where we're at. And he is going to be moving 9. What do we get? It counted same winning even though I didn't get all 3 out. Oh, okay. Well, at least there's that. It knew that nobody's going to want to roll all the way back to that central room. Ragnar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now he can see a new area that we couldn't see before, and that would be this double wide hallway right here that leads downward. So we are going to have another kind of split path, and there is only one thing down this hallway, and that is a skeleton archer hanging out all the way down here at the bottom of the hallway. Ragnar, are you going to stop right here and search for traps? No, he is not. Okay, I've lost track of how many he moved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what is he going to do? Is he going to go 8, 9, or is he going to go 8, 9 and fire the skeletons? 1, 2, 3, 4. That skeleton is in range. Technically, even from his current position, that skeleton is in range. So I guess we're just asking, is he going to stop here and fire at the skeleton, or is he going to keep walking? He's going to fire at the skeleton. But let's go ahead and move him, even though the skeleton was in range before. Again, in the idea that Ragnar prefers close combat, he's going to get as close as he can before he does anything else. Only using the bow because he didn't quite get there. He pulls out an arrow and fires at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton does not defend, so he did indeed take it out. Okay, Robert Tylan. Moving along. Let's see, we're gonna kind of re-roll our teams here. 1, 2, 3. Is he gonna stop there and search that hallway for traps? Yes, he is. There are no traps down that hallway. Monster's turn, no monsters on the board. We are back to good old lucky Gramina hanging out in the yellow room, now a little bit behind the party. Let's get her up there. Yeah, 10 is a good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I know I moved her off camera there. Let's switch her back now that she's with the party. There we go. Nothing else she can do right at the moment. Valerna. What does she got going on? She's got a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is she going to go with Ragnar or keep walking? She's going to go with Ragnar, so we're switching our teams up a little bit. That was crud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is what I thought. 6, 7. Oh, no. I said the thing. I didn't mean to say the thing. I have lots of young kid students that say that all the time. She's going to go ahead and use her other action to search for secret doors, and there are none. Ragnar, he is hanging out right there. He can continue on walking now that they know there's nothing special going on in this hallway. 1, 2, 3. He can now see the bottom hallway. Let's move the camera out over here. We already know about this wall that's over here, but coming down this way, we can actually see all the way to the corner. I know that's off camera, But on camera, there are a couple of doors down here. One right here, and one right here. Yeah, I think that splash of gold on the top really helped there, because this is one of those areas where you can't see the door, and this could just blend into the walls, but that gold is going to kind of help us see where the walls are. Justin says, is 150 for a used base game and expansion a ripoff? Found a listing near me. Probably not. What expansion is it? Do you know? The base game is like $100-ish, and there are definitely some of those expansions that are 50 or 60. If it's Keller's Keep or Witch Lord, probably not. It also depends on if it's the new stuff or the old stuff. Are we talking the Hasbro stuff or are we talking the Milton Bradley stuff? Because pretty much for a base game and an expansion of the old stuff, that's probably pretty good deal, or at least by the old prices. Ragnar still had movement left, didn't he? Yeah, he barely moved at all. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? No, he is not. He's done searching for traps. He's throwing caution to the wind. He's walking out to the stuff. Let's see. He moved 1, 2, I think, right? Two, maybe 3. He's got plenty of movement left. 3, 4, 5, 6. He can only reach this door, though. I was gonna roll to see which door, but he can only reach this door. And luckily, that doesn't matter whether he was at 2 or 3. Either way, he reached that door. Oh, nice. Justin says it's not a full pick, but it's Mage. Yeah, so that'd be Mage of the Mirror, and it's new print. Yes, that is a good deal. Yes, Mage of the Mirror is one of the expansions that's probably $60 or more on its own. Mage of the Mirror comes with one of the more neat expansions, bunch of new monsters, and a bunch of extra stuff, including alternate prints of all of the furniture that comes with the base game. That Mage of the Mirror might have the most like extra stuff in it. Definitely, I'd go for that. If you've got some cash, that is not bad. Raggy. Let's see, what do we got going on in this kind of maroon room up here for Raggy? There is a table in there, and this is in the Black Mountains here. So let's go dirt floor under the table. Got a table there. We got a swamp orc hanging out in there, as well as an orc archer. Hanging out back behind the table. That's kind of bad news. Oh yeah, Bohemians, good point. The First Light expansion is, well, it's not even really an expansion, is a cheap alternative to the game system. Yeah, and that's probably, what, $60 or $80 in most places. The only thing that sucks about that is that there's, you get the hero miniatures, but the monsters are just like cardboard standees. I got a couple of those. I really like the hero miniatures. In fact, Valerna here is one of them. Valerna is from the First Light expansion. She was there, I think. I should have looked a little closer there. But yeah, I definitely don't care for the standees, but it made sense. Again, personal criticism, but I totally understand why they did it. Helped to make it cheaper. Okay, excuse me, Ragnar still has a second action. Is he going to search for traps in this room or fire at one of those orcs? He's going to search for traps in the room. And there are none. Robert Tylan. Is he on camera? No, he sure isn't. Get him up there. Now there's 2 heroes heading down here, so I think he is going to head the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that he's in this new part of the dungeon, we can reveal that there is a door leading into the central room right here. And that was 5 out of 8, so he's still got some movement left. There's nothing new to search for here. 6, 7, and 8. This also reveals this hallway right here, which there's only one thing of interest really in this hallway at the moment, which is this door. Okay, now he has an action Excuse me, we should probably see if he wants to spend that action searching this little hallway for traps. Because this does go all the way to the end of the hallway there. Is he going to search for traps? No, he is not. Now, in that case, probably what he intends to do then is open this door, because he's out of movement. So he's going to open the door into the central room. Let's get a little bit better of a shot in this. In our central room, we have two bookshelves. We have one from the base game and one of the Mage of the Mirror bookshelves there. So you can see just one example of some fancy stuff that comes in that one. A bookshelf here, and a bookshelf here. We also have an altar at the end of the room. We'll put a dirt floor down there too. We got fancy altar here. Again, this is purely aesthetic. It doesn't do anything, but it sure is neat. Justin says, I might get this. I don't mind the cardboard monsters, and it has a companion app to be Zargon, and it's $50 at Target. Nice, it's good and cheap. Yes, the companion app actually works with any of it. So you can get anything, and the companion app works. Now again, the companion app forces real game rules, but I mean, you're playing that already in the computer version that you're playing. So yeah, fantastic. I didn't realize it was that much cheaper. That's cool. Also in this room, we have a splattering of monsters. Are those deep zombies? I'm having trouble telling the colors apart. Yes, I believe they are. Deep zombies, two deep zombies here. Again, deep monsters are slow, but they hit hard. We're going to use a couple of guys here. These are both Avalon Hill guys, but one of them is the Prophecy of Telor exclusive mini. We also have two mummies. And, probably to nobody's surprise, this is where Balur escaped to. So here he is. Let's say this is an emergency requiring all of the heroes to divert what they were doing and come up here. It's too bad that Robert is out of movement. He doesn't have a long-range weapon, which means he can't attack anybody in that room right now. And also, he's the final hero in the lineup, so the next thing that's going to happen is the monster's turn. At least he's in the doorway, so only one person can attack him, unless Balur casts a spell at him, which, why wouldn't he? What even are the options? I mean, the most strategically intelligent thing to do, I suppose, would be to search that room for traps, so that at least on the next turn, nobody has to worry about stepping on something. So let's do that. He searches that middle room for traps, and luckily, there are none. Gohan says, hold the door! Yes! Nice Game of Thrones reference. Okay, so monster's turn. We've got some bad stuff going on here. Let's, I know we're pointing at this already, but let's go ahead and take care of the easier thing, which is down here. We've got these two orcs on Ragnar. We got one guy coming up right over here. Now this is a swamp orc. Swamp monsters have garbage defense, but they also have increased attack. So I'm imagining this orc attacks with 4. Yes, that is correct. The orc swings its sword at Ragnar. Ouch, hitting him with a 3. That is definitely bad news. Ragnar attempts to defend and blocks 2 of the hits. And this is actually the first damage he took all game, so I don't feel too bad for him. The orc archer can also shoot. Now this is a regular orc, so he just throws 3. The orc archer shoots an arrow, hitting Ragnar with 2. Ragnar defends 1, but not the other, dropping him to 8 body points. Gohan says he's never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. That's a feat, honestly. It seems like almost everybody watched at least a part of that. It was good for the most part. I think a lot of the criticisms that I've seen of it hold water. The ending was disappointing for most people. I thought it was kind of disappointing. I don't think I hated it as bad as I've seen some other people hate it. But yeah. Okay, we got a lot of options over here. I'd say one of these zombies definitely needs to attack him, and then we need to see what Balur is going to do. So which zombie is going to come down there? I'm going to get this guy here. And again, this is a deep zombie, so these guys hit a little harder. The deep zombie swings its sword at Robert Tylan, hitting him with a 2. He takes both of those hits, dropping him to 5 body points, which is actually not a bad thing. This triggers his retaliation skill. The skill can be used only if you have 5 or fewer body points. You may use the skill immediately after you have taken damage from an adjacent monster. Immediately make an attack against that monster. So Robert Tylan can swing right back. He swings his broadsword at the deep zombie, hitting it with a 2. That's a good hit. The deep zombie does not defend, so actually gets destroyed for its efforts. Justin says, LOL, the rule book suggests the wizard take fire and elf take earth spells. I was just doing that on my own. Nice. That's funny. I forgot. I remember now that you say that the rule book suggested who should have what, but that it is totally up to the players. Okay, Balur. Balur's got some dangerous stuff. Let's see. Now, he's got 5 more spells that he could cast, and we're going to randomize which one he casts, but there is at least one of these I know that he has in here that would only harm all the monsters and wouldn't even hit a hero. So we're going to definitely not let him use that one. But as far as the rest of the randomization, let's see what he is going to pull. He is going to pull the last spell. No, wait a minute, sorry. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to use the middle spell, which is Tempest. Okay. That's not too bad. So Balur casts Tempest on Robert Tylan, which essentially means that Robert is going to miss his next turn. I'm going to go ahead and put that down here on his character card. Gohan says, I played the first episode of the Telltale series, but that's it, and that was forever ago. Oh, yes, I forgot about the Telltale series. Whew. I tried to rewatch it. I watched all of Game of Thrones. I don't remember when I started in on it, but I think seasons 5, 6, and 7 I was watching as they were airing. And yeah, it just kind of got disappointing from there. Now again, I didn't hate it as much as I've seen some other people hate it. So I tried to rewatch the whole series fairly recently, and that was really where it kind of fell apart. I didn't make it all the way back. Just kind of lost interest, especially since I knew what was going to happen already. But it had some really good ideas. I certainly liked the show, but I wish they'd ended it better. Gramina, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't really do anything else from there, but she is on her way to help. Valerna, again, now Valerna is just barely on camera. She's right here. She was headed down this way, but now that we've opened up the boss room, I think she needs to divert and come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be dumb for her to go in there alone, wouldn't it? Yeah, probably would. 9. Let's put her back. Now she has a couple of options here that I think both are fairly valid. She could fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Balur is in range for her to shoot her bow at. Or she could cast a spell. Now she has Water of Healing, which wouldn't do anything against the boss. Tempest, which would freeze him the way he froze Robert. And Fire of Wrath, which would not affect him, but might possibly get rid of one of the other monsters. Of those options, either Tempest or firing with her bow are probably the best of those options. Let's card it. Yeah, let's card this. So let's see. Let's just say red, she's going to fire with her bow. Black, she's going to cast a spell. Okay, red. It was the Ace of Hearts. So she is going to try firing with her bow at Balur the Fire Mage. So she puts an arrow in and fires, but misses. Yeah, that's fair. Because she theoretically could have one-shot him, which would have been kind of anticlimactic. So essentially no help she was. Ragnar. Now, again, I feel like he ought to be headed up to help with the boss room. His skills remain untapped and also very helpful. But if he leaves now, these monsters, these orcs are going to be chasing. So he probably ought to try and take care of this first. Ragnar swings his broadsword at the orc, hitting it with a 2. And that is because the swamp orcs have reduced defense. That's actually a skilled strike for that orc, making it super dead. Out he goes. There we go. Get him back up there. And then what else? He could theoretically search this room for secret doors. So he can't really do anything else about that orc archer yet. Unless, again, the orc archer attacks less close range. If we move Ragnar, does he get enough to get up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite. But we have established that Ragnar prefers to attack close range. Let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He knows there's no traps there. The Orc Archer's still going to shoot at him, but next turn he can get close range rather than shooting back. All right, and then it is Robert Tylan's turn. However, unfortunately, he is stuck in a whirlwind. He cannot do anything. Now, the whirlwind does go away, but it prevented him from taking his turn, meaning that it is now the monster's turn. So again, let's take care of the Orc Archer first. The Orc Archer fires at Ragnar, hitting him with a 2. Ragnar blocks them both. Good, Ragnar's doing really good down there in that room. And then the more uh-oh situation up here is going to be these two guys. Let's just do the same thing we did last monster's turn. We're gonna get a zombie over here. This is a deep zombie, so it hits a little harder. The deep zombie swings its dagger, but misses Robert Tylan. We're gonna go ahead and follow that up with some mummies moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of getting in place there. And Balur again casting a spell. Now again, the spell Firestorm, which is one of the ones in his arsenal, would be dumb. It wouldn't hurt any of the heroes, and it would probably destroy all of the monsters in there with him. So we're going to stop him from using that if we draw it. But other than that, he is going to use the second spell, which I think is Firestorm, isn't it? No. Okay. I put them in the order the quest book indicates. That's why I had a feeling that was the spell, but I was wrong. He is going to cast Fear on Robert Tylan. This spell causes any one hero to become so fearful that they may only use 1 attack dice. I thought that limited their movement too. I guess not. This spell can be broken on a future turn by a hero rolling 1 movement dice for each of their mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell is broken. And that's probably going to take hold because Berserkers only have 2 mind points, and I don't think he's built the education skill. Nope, he sure hasn't, so he's probably going to have some trouble throwing that off. Okay, having said that, that could have gone way worse. So back to the heroes. It is Gramina's turn. Let's get her up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Gramina, we've been making fun of you the whole quest, but now is the time. She can shoot. She puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires at the deep zombie, hitting it with a 1. That's still, that could kill it. That could kill it, but it blocks. Poor Gramina. She's trying so hard. We are then at Valirna. Now this would be a good time for her to cast her Fire of Wrath spell, because that will affect the zombie. Doesn't affect Balur, but I think let's start her turn with that. A wave of fire appears at Valirna's fingertips. She directs it at the deep zombie. It is engulfed in flames. It tries to throw the spell off, but is unsuccessful. The deep zombie is dead. This leaves her also open to shoot her bow on this turn. I don't think it's smart for her to go in there just yet. She puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires at Balur, hitting him with a 2. Not going to kill him, but also he has really good defense. But he does not block either of those attacks. He takes both skulls. So he's going to have to play the game a little bit more carefully if he doesn't want to get killed. Sir Ragnar is still down here dealing with this orc. We're going to go ahead and move him 1, 2 so that he can get up close range to this orc, swing his broadsword, and hit it with a critical hit of 3, which is also a skilled strike. That orc is out of here. There we go. Nice, that'll free Ragnar up to go up there and help, because he's definitely got some very helpful skills that will be valuable in that battle. That takes us then to Robert Tylan, who at the moment is being afflicted by a fear spell. Let's see if he can throw this off. He has 2 mind points, which means we're going to roll the movement dice, and if this is a 6, he throws it off. If it's not, then he takes his turn as normal, but he can only attack with a single dice. Well, look at that. He got super lucky. This is a Berserker we're talking about. Berserkers are scared of nothing. He shakes the effects of the fear spell and takes his turn as normal. His frenzy spell can't be activated yet. No, it sure can't. Justin says, I understand why you homebrew this. The rules are really bare bones. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that I think is really good about HeroQuest. They leave it be really simple so that if you want it to just be simple, you can do it that way. But they also leave it open enough that you can add stuff. And as long as you're kind of careful about what you add, it doesn't feel like it's not right or not true to the game. Okay, Robert can actually get up there to Balur. It's a little bit of a risk, but let's go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this risk was worth it. Can he, after having thrown off that spell, finish off Balur? He swings his broadsword. Ooh, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. I'd say that's a pretty good chance. Balur's got good defense. He could defend this, but he's got to get 3 black shields. Balur defends, and only defends 1 hit, taking 2 damage and dying. We need to make sure we mark that on Robert Tyland's sheet. Go ahead and do that now. This is actually his first accomplishment. He killed Balur the Fire Mage. Excuse me. However, now it is the monster's turn, and there are 2 mummies in there. And that is definitely not good. Mummies are strong. Oh my gosh, there is a massive spider coming down from my ceiling. Holy crap, that is one of the biggest spiders I've ever seen. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna get a fly swatter and I'm gonna fight a monster of my own. Holy crap, I wish I could show you guys this. This guy is huge. Oh man, he's in a weird spot too. I don't even know how I'm gonna get him. Oh gosh, he fell. Well, that's unfortunate, because I do not know where he is now. Huh. Well, I'm gonna keep the fly swatter close, I think. Whoa, that guy was massive. That's what you get for playing HeroQuest in a basement. Sometimes real monsters pop out. I don't see the guy anywhere. He must have stayed back. Either that or he's slowly making his way back up the wall. Wow. Savannah says, well, I guess no more painting streams because I will never be able to go down there again. He just wanted to know when he could play, says Gohan. Yeah, absolutely. He was big enough to. Wow, that was gross. Yeah, I don't know where he went. If I had been able to get at him quicker, I would have been able to knock him out before he went up where I couldn't really get him. Ew. He wants to, yeah, RP the boss for your team, yes. Yeah, it's got me all jittery now. Ugh. Okay, monster's turn. We got a couple of mummies there that we need to take care of, and they have multiple targets. So one of them for sure is gonna go for Robert. He's the closest target, but the other one I think probably ought to go out here and attack either Gramina or the elf. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, and let's draw a card to see who he's going to hit. He is going to hit Gramina. Mummy's hit pretty hard, but Gramina's not doing bad on health since she took that healing potion. The mummy swings a fist and misses. Gramina actually did a good job dodging there. It's probably because she's so short she was able to just get out of the way. All right. The mummy in the room attacks Robert Tyland, swinging a fist, hitting him with a 2. He blocks both. That's good. Justin clipped it. She tied her shoes at the right time going, oh, I love it. Oh, that's funny. That's gonna be the immortal clip. That's cool. You know what? I'd rather the clip be me losing a spider rather than it like landing on me and me screaming like a girl on because somebody would clip that without a doubt. Although if he reappears on my foot, you might still, and then I might be on camera when it happens. I'm not generally afraid of spiders, but that guy was not small. Okay, where are we at? We are back to Gramina. Gohan says that's the next one. It's coming. It's coming for sure. Okay, Gramina, we got a mummy here. Mummies are not easy, and this one just tried to hit you. Now that your shoes are tied, let's take a swing at this guy. She swings her broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. You gotta hit mummies harder than that, Gramina. The mummy defends the attack. Not really anything else she can do. Yep. So we are now at Balurna. And her Tempest spell might be of help, but she might kill it instead. Let's go ahead and swing first at least. Balurna swings her broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. Come on, guys, you got to do better than that. The monster blocks the attack. Okay, just because we want to get these things used up, I'm going to have her use her Tempest spell. So Balurna casts Tempest on the mummy, which just means it's going to miss its next turn. Ragnar, down here, let's get this room searched and get out of here. First action, secret doors or treasure? He's going secret doors, there are none. Second action, let's just force treasure so that nobody has to come back down here. Let's see what he finds. Ragnar finds a small sack discarded in the corner of the room. It contains 15 gold coins. Not bad. Puts us up to 575. I am keeping a wary eye out on the floor. I don't see the guy anymore. He also does not appear to have gone back up into the web. He's made a new home on the floor. Okay. That's both of Ragnar's actions, so we are back up here to Robert Tylan, who is now turning his attention to this mummy in the room. He still can't use his frenzy skill yet, so he swings his broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. Guys, come on. Oops. The mummy doesn't block the attack, so it takes the damage, but it's not dead. And we are back to the monster's turn, which means both of these mummies now get to attack. The mummy over here, is he going to stay on Gramina or switch to Balurna? He is going to stay on Gramina. Swings a bandaged fist at the dwarf, hitting her with a 1. She does not block the attack, taking the damage and dropping to 6 spotty points. Our other mummy then is going to attack Robert Tylan, hitting him with a 1. But he blocks. He's not letting this mummy through. He is ready. Oh, we could have let him search that for secret doors too on that last turn, because all he did was attack. Oh well. Back to the hero's turn, we are at Gramina. She takes another swing with her broadsword at the mummy, this time missing, because what's better than 1? 0, obviously. And unfortunately, there is nothing else she can do with her turn except stand there and hopefully continue to defend attacks. Oh, you know what I just remembered? Balurna cast the Tempest spell and we just totally ignored it. Whoops daisy. Okay, we'll keep this and we'll let it miss its next turn. As long as Balurna doesn't kill it here, she might. Balurna swings her broadsword, hitting the mummy with a 1. Never mind, she's not going to kill it. It doesn't block the attack, so it takes the damage. Okay. We are now at Ragnar, who is free to move. Everything that needs to be done in this room has been done. Let's get him moving. There's not much for him to help out with there. Actually, we may not need him to go up there now. They've pretty much got it under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. Is it helpful for him? No, you know what? He might as well go start to clear off the rest of this. 9. We'll go down this way. Anything been searched in this? No. Okay, is he going to search traps or secret doors? He's going to go for secret doors in this bottom hallway, and there are none. I just realized I moved him off camera from the wall that's back here that we can't see all the way down to this corner. No secret doors. Robert Tylan still locked in combat with the mummy up here. The mummy is damaged. Can he finish it off? He swings his broadsword, hitting the mummy with a 1. He's going to have to get lucky to finish that off. The mummy defends the attack. Gotta get more than one, man. Even if he'd gotten two, he would have gotten rid of that guy. Okay, he's going to use his other action to search this room for secret doors and find none. Back to the monster's turn. This mummy is trapped in a tempest, like he should have been last time. He cannot do anything. However, the tempest is now gone. The mummy in the main room, however, swings a fist at Robert Tylan, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. That's not good. He does not block any of the attacks. This drops him down to 2 body points. Now, this puts him in the ability to use his frenzy, but I don't remember what it does. Let me read the card real quick. You have to have 3 or fewer body points. As an action, you may make a wide sweeping attack. Even if you have already attacked this turn, each monster adjacent and diagonal to you will suffer damage equal to the number of skulls you roll with your attack dice. The monsters may defend. Okay, so that'll be helpful if he doesn't kill this mummy. It's still not using the full effect of the skill, but it's still good. It might give him 2 attacks on one turn. Okay, back to Grimina. The mummy is damaged, Grimina. You throw 3 dice. There's no reason you can't kill this guy. Grimina swings her broadsword, hitting the mummy with 1. That's better than missing, but she's gonna have to get lucky. The mummy defends the attack, because who didn't see that coming? Okay. Valirna, can we do any better than Grimina just did? Valirna swings her broadsword at the mummy, hitting it with a 2. Okay, good. That's better. That's better. The mummy defends 1, but not both. Pulling her weight as always, Valirna has killed the mummy. Oh, man. Where are we at here? So Valirna does have another action yet that she can take, and nothing has been searched in their current hallway, so let's do that. Secret doors or traps? She's going for traps. And there is indeed one trap that we ought to talk about in this hallway. There is a spear trap just off camera. If we move the camera up just a little bit, there is actually a spear trap right on this last space right here. How are we doing on time? It's taking 12 minutes. It's questionable. We might get through it. We probably ought to just get through it, even if it's going to make us go later than I'd like to, which sucks, but we're so close to the end of the quest, it would be dumb to stop. Ragnar. We are going to send him into this brown room here. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Or we're going to send him into the doorway of this brown room. He opens this door, finding another door, as well as a mountain orc and a deep orc. So for our mountain orc, we'll go ahead and use our good old Avalon Hill orcs. And for our deep orc, just so I remember that there's a difference between the two, we are going to use a Milton Bradley orc. There we go. Okay, now Ragnar can't do anything else. He's out of movements, but he isn't out of action. So is he going to search for traps or attack? He's going to attack. Pulling out his bow, he fires at the deep orc. Wow, hitting it with a critical hit of 3, which is also a skilled strike. That takes that guy out. That was lucky. Poor guy didn't even get to blink. It probably doesn't help that his face is made out of plastic, but you know how it goes. Robert Tylan is still trying to get rid of this mummy. He swings his broadsword, but misses. But that's totally okay, because he is going to activate his frenzy skill, which allows him to make a second attack, and it would attack monsters all around him. We're not really getting to utilize that. However, it does give him a chance to hit this guy again. Swings his broadsword and only manages to hit 1 this time. He still might get lucky. But the monster defends it. Oh man, that's bad news. He might die. That is bad news, because nobody can get in there to help him. Should have thought of that. Should have sent Valirna in there to at least act as a potential other person. Okay, well, nothing we can do about it now. Let's go ahead and take care of this now. The mummy is now going to attack. Robert Tylan hitting him with a 1. That's good news. He's not going to die at least. He does indeed defend the attack. Woo! All right. He's getting low on health there, that is for sure. In other monsters, we have this Mountain Orc down here by Ragnar. 1, 2. The Mountain Orc swings its mace, hitting Ragnar with a 2. Ragnar defends the attack. All right, old Gramina. Is she old? Is she young? Nobody's sure. She's been around for as long as anybody can remember. There's really nothing she can do in that room other than potentially help with the mummy, I guess. Let's card this. What's she gonna do? Red, she's gonna go help. It is red. She is gonna go in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have no fear. Gramina is here. We're not sure why, but she is here. Can she prove her worth? She swings her broadsword at the mummy and hits it with a 2. Hey, she might actually do it. And the mummy does not defend. Okay, officially, I can't make fun of Gramina anymore. She did it. She took out a monster, and mummies are not easy. That was a hard monster. She does not deserve the crap that I've been giving her. It ends today. Gramina is a good character. Okay, Balurna. First off, she is in range of Robert Tylan, who is just about to die. I think he is deserving of her Water of Healing spell. Clutch! And Justin says about time. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Balurna casts Water of Healing on Robert Tylan, who regains 4 of his body points. 1, 2, 3, and 4, putting him back up to 6. This also means the party only has 1 more potion of healing. Now again, we're pretty close to the end of the quest, so we should be totally fine, but it is worth mentioning that Balurna now holds their last hope of saving anybody from death. She now has her second action, which she might as well, opening that door is kind of a risky thing on a no action. I gotta reshuffle my deck again. So much randomization. Let's card this. Is she going to search for traps as her other action, or is she going to move and open that door? She's going to move and open the door. Okay. I said traps. I meant secret doors. I think I said traps. She opens the door into this blue room. Now there's another door in here we knew about already. This leads down into the room where Ragnar is fighting. There is nothing else in this room. Now, we actually don't know what she rolled. Let's go ahead and roll for her. She got a good roll. So is she going to walk into this room, or is she going to stop in the doorway? She's going to stop in the doorway. Good. Speaking of Ragnar, down here with Ragnar, he is fighting an orc. And he should have no problem getting rid of this guy. He swings his broadsword, hitting the orc with a 2. This is a special kind of orc, isn't it? No, this is a mountain orc. I'm sorry, I said 2. He hit it with a 1. It didn't defend either way, so it's dead. And this leaves him with 1 more action that he can do in this room. Is he going to... He hasn't done any searching. So search for traps in the room, search for secret doors in the room, or go ahead and move into the room. And he is going to search for traps in the room. There are no traps in that room. Back up here, Robert Tylan is finally free in this room to do anything else that needs done, and the only thing else that needs done is search for treasure, which we could let Gramina do. So let's card this. Is he going to search for treasure or leave? He's going to leave. We only got a couple more rooms. Actually, there's only 1 room left that they haven't revealed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't quite get anywhere, but he's headed that way. No monsters on the board, so we are back to Gramina. Now that Gramina is the last one left in that room, we're going to force a treasure search. And I believe there's some special stuff in here. Nope, I was wrong. This is a regular treasure search. There is a special treasure in here, but it's not in this room. Scattered in the dirt throughout the room, Gramina is able to find 15 gold coins, which is handy because thanks to her coin hunter skill, she actually finds 40? Yeah, it'd be 40 coins. So yeah, very nice. That is going to put us up to 615 coins total. And with her second action, she can move out of there. And she got a really good dice roll there, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, they haven't searched anything in this blue room or not. Or she could continue down the hallway. Okay, is she going in the room or down the hallway? She's going in the room. 6. Now, really, what is the purpose of her going in this room, we have to ask, because she hasn't searched for treasure yet, but being that she has that skill, she's kind of not in danger. So I guess, I mean, it's really for the purpose of searching for secret doors. There's no reason to go through there at the moment. Okay, let's stop her there. She doesn't have an action to do anything else anyway. There's no reason to walk through that room unless they're going to search for secret doors. Valerna now actually does have that option. Is she going to search the room for traps, search the room for secret doors, walk in there and search for treasure? Yeah, really, those are the only things that make sense. We determined she opened the door. She's going to go do something in there. Traps she's doing first. And there are no traps in there. Second action, is she searching for secret doors or is she going to leave? Because again, Gramina might as well search for treasure. She's already in there. She's going to do the secret door search. And there are also none of those. Raggy. Old Raggy down here in this room has a couple of options here. Search for secret doors or walk in there and search for treasure. He's going to do secret doors first, and there are none. So we might as well, with his second action, just go pop one in the room so that next turn he can search for treasure. And now that we've gotten all that out of the way, we know Robert Tylan might as well head down that hallway. Is there a safer way to get to this room? Yeah, technically down Raggy's way, not that they know that. 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and walk over those traps. The spear traps aren't that big a deal. Plus, we could probably get Gramina down there to do that. No monsters on the board, so we are back to Gramina. Let's go ahead and have her search for treasure in this blue room and get that done. Nothing special. Let's see what she finds. Oh no, not again. You accidentally trigger a spring-loaded mechanism which crushes a glass vial and showers you in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it lands on a skull, you lose a body point. On any other result, you are unharmed. Oh, Gramina. Got hit with the poison, dropping her to 5 body points. Ouch. That is for sure. The old poison card kind of indicated that you found a vial of stuff that you just for some reason drank. And so I changed the card to make it something that happens to you rather than indicating that you're dumb enough to just drink something in a random vial you found. I feel like Gramina might. If she found a vial of something, she might be like, I wonder what this is. I said I was going to stop making fun of her, didn't I? I really should. All right, Valerna, let's get going down the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry. I wasn't watching close enough. I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye. Looking for a stupid spider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 does put her right directly on that trap. So as per usual, let's see if she jumps it. She does not. It hits her. So either way, that does get rid of the trap, but she loses a body point for her troubles. This only drops her down to 8. She's actually done really well conserving body points this quest. Okay, Ragnar, we are in the room for the purpose of searching for treasure, and then we can move out of there. Let's see what he finds. He found a potion of healing. Okay, good. They've been kind of in need of some extra stuff. Now he's doing good on health also, but so they'll have another potion to conserve for next time probably. With his second action, let's get him moving out of there. Now he doesn't know what is down this side hallway yet. Oh, you know who does though, is Valerna, who's standing right there, and I just didn't put the contents of the hallway down. There is a door right here, the last door in the quest. Okay, let's get Ragnar moving towards that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the corner there. Nothing further to reveal. However, nobody has searched this particular hallway for traps. Is he gonna? Now he doesn't have the action to do it, but is he gonna stop here? Yes, he is. That leads us to Robert Tylan, who is back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he gonna stop here and search for traps? No, he is not. 5 and 6, and unfortunately he steps on another spear trap that is right there. And he is also hit by it. Ouch. So it's going to go ahead and end his turn. Now he, sorry, not end his turn, end his movement. Justin says time for a 3 a.m. snack of cheese. Yes, we just passed 3. Now normally I intend to cut these off at 3, but again, we're so close to the end of the quest. Let's just finish it. Robert does still have his second action he could take. He just has to stop his movement. Is somebody going to search this hallway for traps? Let's see. Traps or secret doors? Nope, he's going for secret doors. There are none. I guess they can be sure that this is for sure the last room in the quest. Gramina, she's already on camera. Get her down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, leaving her in the perfect position to search that hallway for traps. And indeed, there were 2 traps in this hallway, which these morons already stepped on. No more traps. Just the 2 that they triggered. Valerna, up there in the corner, can now be the one to open this door. 1, 2. No further doors in this room. There is a treasure chest right here. There is also a swamp orc. Right here. And an orc archer guarding the chest. Is she going to stop and search this room for traps? No, she is not. So if she's attacking, is she going to walk in there or shoot? She's going to walk in there. Okay, which guy is she going for? She's going to go for the swamp orc. Luckily, neither of these spaces are trapped. She swings her broadsword at the swamp orc, hitting it with a 1. Again, swamp monsters have bad defense and better attack, so this guy pretty likely to die. And indeed, he does not defend. He is out. Okay, Ragnar, he's down in the corner. He's kind of on camera, but he's going to move up better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, not quite getting into the room. He's still had to use that bow a little bit more often than you'd hope. Now, since this is the end of the quest, let's just go ahead and knock out. He's got a concentrated attack, which lets him use 2 extra attack dice for the next 3 times he attacks. I wouldn't normally use it on an orc, but it's the end of the quest. It doesn't cost us anything. Let's just see if it'll help him take this orc out a little quicker. He sets an arrow in his bow and fires a concentrated attack at that orc archer, hitting it with a 2, which the orc does not defend, taking it out. Robert Tylan, are we going to search the room for traps? Maybe? 1, 2, stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. Okay. There are no traps in this room, so all we need to do is search for secret doors, and somebody needs to get up to that chest. No monsters. Gramina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Might as well be the one to search for treasure since she got up to the chest. Let's see what she finds. This is the special. The first hero to search for treasure will find 150 gold coins and the Wand of Magic artifact. Awesome, so let's go ahead and add our coins in. That's going to put us up to 765 coins. And she also found this right here, the Wand of Magic. This magical wand allows the hero to cast 2 single spells as 1 action on their turn. Now this obviously isn't going to help Gramina, so she might as well hand it off to the only person, at least in this quest, that will benefit from it, which is Valerna. So I'll go ahead and mark this on Valerna's sheet, and then we can make a decision later on if she should pass that off to Treyas, our wizard, or keep it for herself. Okay, after that, Valerna can search this room for secret doors and discover that there are not any, which means this quest is done. Woo! Maybe a tiny bit late, but that is okay. Let's go ahead and get our quest cleanup figured out so that we can get out of here. And I don't know about you guys, but I am going to bed. after this. So let's do some cleanup and talk about how everything went. We're getting into the real stuff here. We're definitely getting into the later quests. Like I said, we're in the last half of the first book. And we're not anywhere near done or anything. We've got more than 100 more quests. I don't remember what the total is, but there are quite a lot of quests in this campaign. We've got plenty more to go, but they're starting to get to the point where you can see where we're headed. There are some incredibly difficult quests later on, and if Merlin's still here, then Merlin can attest to that, and Bohemius knows too. Some of those later books are ridiculous in difficulty, and we have not seen anything yet. So we're ramping up slowly, but we're starting to get a little bit more complicated and difficult. I'm going to get my skill set chart here. Okay, first up, Gramina. What can be said about Gramina that hasn't already been joked about a billion times? She did a lot of dumb stuff on this quest. She missed a bunch, she got hit a bunch, but she was not useless. She did some good stuff every once in a while, including taking out that mummy that Robert Tylan was having an issue getting rid of. So that is definitely a good job on her part. She definitely contributed. So there we go, we got her damage reset. We got her marked off for quest 8. Let's see what her skill sets are. She's gonna take Machinery level 2, which is good. I believe that is something for her. No, it's not. Okay, at level 3 though, she is gonna get the Dwarf Disarm. So the thing that I nerfed off of her, she's gonna get back at level 3. Her second skill set point is going to be, oh, there you go, Machinery level 3. Okay, so next time she goes on a quest, she is going to have a much easier time getting rid of traps, because she will successfully get rid of traps 5/6 of the time. Bohemian says you could simulate Knight's Honor, allowing the Knight to use a ranged weapon only if the target is using a ranged weapon as well. Oh yeah, that's also a good idea. He's got it, but he doesn't like to use it unless he feels like it's fair. That's definitely good. We'll set Gramina off here. Next is Valirna, the elf. She ended up casting all 3 of her spells this quest. Again, she's very helpful. She may not have dealt the killing blow to anybody, but she definitely did good, and she got a wand of magic out of it, at least for now. Her skill sets, she is going to go with Education level 2, which earns her another mind point. This gives her up to 5 mind points. And for her second, Constitution level 3, which is nothing, but that'll give her another body point at level 4 though. Cool. All right, Sir Ragnar did really good on this quest, especially near the end. Not fully utilized. We didn't end up using much of his skills, and the one skill we used was just as kind of a throwaway. It would have been really nice if he had been the one to open the boss door, because he could have thrown down his concentrated attack and his rallying call, which would have boosted everybody's defense, and his own attack would have set him up to be a real threat to that room. Now, he cleared out plenty. It's not a real criticism, but I do kind of wish he had been the one up there. For his skill sets, he is going to go Constitution level 2, which gives him 11 max body points. I knew I shouldn't erase that little line. And for his second point, he is going to go with Magic Skill level 2, which again is probably nothing for him. Let's look at that. Right, okay, so at Magic Skill 3, he gets access to spells, but then he needs to pair that with Magic Memorization level 4, which will give him 1 spell per quest. So if you want to give a knight some magic, you got to work at it, but they will eventually get some magic. And finally, Robert Tylan, who also, he might have been the guy in this quest. I mean, he took a lot of damage, he took a lot of hits, he dealt the final blow to the boss. He used all 3 of his Berserker skills, which might actually be the first time for me that I've used all 3 Berserker skills in a quest, and he used them to great effect. Every time he used one, it helped him out in an easily measurable way. So really, really good performance on his part. For skill sets. He is going to go combat level 2, which increases his base attack to 2. Now that's not really going to help him right at the moment, but if somehow he ever has his broadsword taken away, he will be throwing 2 combat dice. So if somebody casts the rust spell on him and destroys the broadsword, or if they get captured like we did a couple of quests ago and they have to start without their equipment, that's where that's going to come in handy for him. And his second skill set point is going to be a card we can use, please. There we go, Education level 2, which gives him an extra mind point. Good. So he is now up to 3 mind points. So clearly he was affected by that fear spell enough that he was like, okay, I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. So we actually did power everybody up just a little bit. All right, that is gonna do it for me tonight. A little later than I like to end, but we are good to go with that. Don't forget that we stream quests every Friday night, Saturday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night, with painting streams happening on Sunday and Wednesday night. That means we are going to be back here tomorrow at midnight to play the next quest, where, as long as everything goes well, we are going to be adding another hero to the ranks at the end. So that's exciting. Looking forward to playing that already. I missed this last night. If you guys know, on our very first week of operation, we did not take a day off. So yesterday was the first night off we've taken from streaming since we started this, and I thought about coming down here and streaming anyway. I missed it. I've been really enjoying doing this. I've been really enjoying playing. I've been enjoying having conversations with all you guys. Speaking of that, thank you guys for coming back consistently. Justin Pollitt, Gohan, Bohemius, you guys have been here just about every stream we've ever done. Merlin hanging out, thanks man. I imagine he'll be hanging out pretty often, and hopefully, now again, Merlin and I used to play at least once weekly, so I imagine we'll start, at some point, we'll start seeing Merlin on the channel playing some of these quests as well, and that'll be exciting. So yes, now I have a habit of over gushing when it comes to thanks, and I don't know when to stop because I've said it enough. So I'll say it one more time, and we'll get out of here. Thank all you guys sincerely for the support for this channel. I appreciate every single second of your time that you spend watching this and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoy what you see. I hope you enjoy some of the music done either by me or by bands that I'm in. At least half the songs you've heard tonight, Merlin was also involved in playing and writing. So hopefully you also enjoyed what you hear. And we will be back tomorrow night for another episode of Midnight Quest. We'll see you guys then.